Santos faces a federal trial on fraud and campaign finance charges next year. A defense attorney says Georgia's election interference case is an attack on First Amendment rights, arguing that includes the right to challenge election results.
Once we start saying that you are going to go to jail for doing that, those types of challenges are going to dry up.
Attorney Christopher Anuelwiz, representing one of more than a dozen co-defendants of former President Trump, as a Fulton County judge hears motions to dismiss the case. The Federal Appeals Court panel says lawsuits against Trump over the Capitol riot can move forward. That's not the final word, though, on the potential for presidential immunity. America is listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
Oh, but Flounder.
I don't know how this happens. It's pre-programmed. Sit tight. I'll fix this.
You know, this is a funny day. All right, we're going to start all over again. 3:03 with it, and it's only me, the Kimber, Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports record extraordinaire, and the mechanical magnet at the controls, Flounder, and then we do this bad to the bone and do a thing. However, this is Friday. And did your computer, something's good. There are bugs in here once in a while. It's kind of funny. We have to fly by the seat of our pants, which is always exciting. Anyway, I'm not going to begin the show until we do our special Friday song. I'm sorry. Is there? You can't get out of it? Are you stuck in there with this song? Here we go. Yeah, that's better. Now, doesn't that feel better? Oh, mercy. Well, it's been a hell of a week, that's for sure. And now it's all better because it's Friday. And it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder. And good gracious, we got a lot of things in the news. Sandra Day O'Connor, George Santos, Jussie Smollett. But also we'll talk about McDonald's burgers. We'll talk about weird stuff with the lady on the beach who got caught at Tybee doing, which we're going to talk about this with chicks and weird things. And of course, the Golden Bachelor. Holy cow. I think I went through a quart of peppermint schnapps last night. Anyway, 3:04, and all I can say is, Flounder, let's hit it up to 11. It's going to come up Saturday. Look out. Oh, mercy. Let's just chuck it all and talk about our favorite movies or something. I don't know. 3:05. Pete Davis, how you doing there in the mountains of Macon, my friend? You frozen in up there or rained out or what?
It's a little soggy up here, but other than that, it's over 50 degrees, so we're happy.
Yeah, I think, in fact, I almost wore my heavy motorcycle jacket this morning, but it has gotten a little bit warmer. Flounder, how's it going in the booth of happiness?
It's Friday, so it's always a little better when it's Friday.
That is all. Well, I don't know. It's just always nice to be actually, in fact, I took care of the refrigerator. The refrigerator problem is gone. I'm still talking myself out of having a toothache, and I think it's working. Honest to God, it's getting better and better every day, and I'm just saying, you're not getting a toothache. You're not getting a toothache. Anyway, so I'm working on that part. I got to take my electrical stuff here next step, but everything's working out one step at a time, and that's a good sign. And I promised myself today that I'm going to start throwing stuff away this weekend. I'm going to try to get the place cleaned up and clean, because God, if I drop dead, in the next, like tomorrow, whatever, my poor kids, oh my God, it would take them a week to say, well, anybody want this or anybody want that? What the hell has he got this for? What's it, 19 keychains? What the, you know what I mean? Oh, brutal. So I may just start throwing out stuff.
So what would the overall goal be for this cleaning? Like just the basement part or like the whole house?
See, Flounder's been
I've been to Kimmer's house before, so this is a big step for him just to acknowledge it.
Well, the thing is, so stupid freaking Florida. When I was out in Florida, I came back to work, and I kept my storage closet. What do you call it? The big orange one.
Storage unit.
Yeah, but what's the name? I want to give them a bad plug. They kept raising the freaking rates on me.
Not U-Haul.
No, it's the orange one. It's U Storage or whatever the famous one is. It's
Bob's Store Box.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, and so they kept raising the freaking rates, and so and so it was getting like $200 a month to keep my junk in there. All my childhood stuff and things. Just stuff, all my stuff.
You kept your junk in there?
Well, hello. Weekend at a time. And they gave me a bunch of crap when I went in after hours, and I had to get through the gate. And it was just a madness. And I finally said, screw this. And I went down and drove all night. I got there like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and apparently illegally used the code of my real estate agent to get in there. And they yelled at me for that. I loaded up the stuff all myself, soaking wet, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then drove back to Georgia. And then they yelled at me for going, for using the gate, after 5 in the morning or before 6 in the morning or so. You know what? I couldn't believe it. I said, for all that money, you can kiss my butt. How about that? Anyway, it was brutal. So I got all this stuff now in my townhouse, which I rent. It's not mine. And there's, it's all there. So my saddle, all Jack's bridles and my cowboy, everything. And I owned it. I have drumsticks that I made in 8th grade boys' shop. A pair of drumsticks I made and still stuff like that. Anyway, so I told myself I got to start throwing this crap away. But again, it's my life. This is all I got. Oh, I just got sad. Oh, that's bad.
Well, there's stuff that you just got to go through and decipher. You're not going to throw everything away.
No, crying. No. There's no crying in broadcasting. No, but obviously, stuff that's of value to my kids that they want, things like that. But knick-knack stuff. People just give me since I'm on the radio. I mentioned keychains. Stuff that people go to Disney World and bring me back a Mickey Mouse keychain. Okay, honestly, but do I throw it away? I hate to just get rid of all things like that. I got all kinds of knick-knacky stuff like that. And I hate to just chuck it. And yet nobody, who the hell would want it? Who would want another keychain from Disney World? You know what I mean? It's not like it's an authentic thing. Oh, the Kimmer owned this. Wow. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm flargalaculating here because I'm trying to figure out what, do stuff for the vacation and the kids. And it's just so we're going good. Anyway, we got a million things in the news today. And the damn Golden Bachelor, I'm so freaking ticked off about this. Honestly, did you? And Pete, now I thought you were going to watch. You hadn't watched it anyway. I thought you were going to watch it last night.
All right, I turned on, and it was Jesse Palmer. Man, has his career tanked. And he's talking to some woman, and she's crying, and he's had his hand on her knee, hitting on her, and stuff like that. And I'm going, okay, I think there's a football game on, so I switched over to the football game.
God. So, you lasted like 4 seconds. Well, that was toward the end, but must have been Leslie when she was telling everything what was happening. Anyway, and by the way, what's that guy's name? What'd you say?
I think it's Jesse Palmer, the former Florida quarterback.
Yeah, but guy. Okay. He's. I don't think he's a very good host. I don't think he's very comfortable. Actually, it looked like he was struggling, trying to stall and things like that. He just didn't look very. They were not live last night, and it didn't look like he handled it well. But here's what bothers me. He's obviously a great-looking guy. He's got great hair, but he's got guys like that who have that kind of growth of beard. Look idiotic. Either grow the damn beard or shave it or do a little bit, but have a little 5 o'clock shadow maybe. But he's got like a 4-day growth, and it just looks dirty. I couldn't believe it.
Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Well, I know I'm not good, but I'm doing this to see if it's going to come in. But I don't have a good beard, and I know I don't, and I'll shave it off. But again, I know that, and again, especially with an old guy, you just look dirty. But anyway, that's not a good look. He's too good looking to either grow the beard or just do the the little whisker stuff like the little goatee. I don't know. I'm just saying. I was kind of surprised. And the damn Bachelor guy, I just. And we'll go. He met Teresa first, and then and they were all talking about how I'm down to the two of you, and she said, I know it's between me and her, the two, and they're all talking about this whole time, and I'm thinking, what kind of I'm cringing the whole freaking time. You knew this was going to happen. You knew at some point you had to get down to just the one girl, but he starts saying, if I get down on one knee for you, and it's going to be for the whole ta-da, and she says, oh, what if you said no? And she says, oh, no, I would never say no. And then he looks at her and he says, I want to remember. Again, this is Teresa. I hate her. I just hate her. I hate her. I hate her. In every possible way. And he says, I just want to remind you that I love you. And now I'm overjoyed saying it now. And she says, oh, that means so much to me. I've always wanted to hear that. I've always wanted to feel that. I've sort of given up. And then off they go, and then oh God, well, we'll get to it. And they keep talking about, well, if I get down on one knee, I say, oh yeah, I remember that one knee business. Pretty good. Hey, Pete, remind me again, how did that turn out?
Somehow you've managed to turn this around to you.
Well, it was fun to God and everybody in the cliffs of Acapulco. And the music's playing in the restaurant, and I'm down there. And what did she say again? I forgot. What did she say when I asked her to marry me?
No!
Yes, there you go.
Negatory, nada, never, nunca. Not your dreams.
So imagine my surprise many years later. Anyway, all right. I'm going to cut my head off, I swear to God. Anyway, thanks for the members. It's coming up on 3:13 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We love phone calls. Here's our phone number, 404-741-1230. If you watch that show or anything else, Sandra Day O'Connor passing, you got a lot of newsy stuff. The debate. Did you watch the debate last night? And what do you think about it? Newsom got clobbered, I think. Anyway, 404-741-1230. Let her rip Friday with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Legend Neal Boortz. He's only on Extra 106.3.
Government schools operate for the benefit of politicians and government school employees, not for the benefit of your child. Catch on and get your kids out of there if you care about them.
Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, right here on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. Each Saturday and Sunday at noon, you can catch my show where we talk about all the issues, local, national, and global. If you miss an episode, you can catch all my content at the Podcast Park, where I put out new episodes of the Ben Burnett Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, featuring long-form interviews with the people who create your perspective. Thanks for listening to Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. See you around, Atlanta.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From an assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree. Family, friends, and the outdoors.
Does the colder weather have you looking for indoor sports? Have you tried pickleball? Ace Pickleball Club in Roswell specializes in optimal playing experiences with entirely indoor facilities, professional-grade cushioned courts, and streaming video on every court. Memberships are all-inclusive. Open play is offered all day, every day, with courts divided by skill level. Ace Pickleball even offers free classes for beginners and provides all the equipment. Ace Pickleball Club. Join now, play forever. Check them out at acepickleballclub.com.
The Kimmer Show, live until 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3. And start your day the right way tomorrow morning with the Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
Look out. We're rocking and rolling, and we got phone calls and everything. God bless America. What a freaking day. It's beautiful. 3:16 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and AC/DC. And we also have Courtney and Linda. Hold on, you guys. Kimmer babes, go to the front of the line. Here's AC/DC, and on this day in 2014, Phil Rudd, the drummer, pleaded not guilty to charges of threatening to kill and possession of drugs. I assume he wasn't trying to kill the drugs, except orally. Phil was excused from appearing in New Zealand's Tauranga District Court, with his lawyer entering the plea. The 60-year-old Australian-born musician, the drummer of AC/DC, was originally charged with attempting to procure the murder of 2 guys. And I can't remember how that came out. Flounder, do you remember whatever happened to that guy? I don't remember offhand.
No, I'm not sure. Was he one of the original members?
I think so. But I remember talking about this, every year anniversary we do this story, and I don't remember whatever happened. I don't remember. Hold on, ladies. Sorry, we'll get right to it. Quick birthday of note. Let's do, it's Charlene Tilton. Okay. Sorry, put it that way grammatically. Charlene Tilton is 65 years old. She played Lucy Ewing on Dallas, and she was that chubby little platinum blonde chick who was definitely hot. I mean, she definitely had a look. And boys, I have to admit this, and girls, hold on, please, and my camera babes, I really screwed up here. Last night, that stupid Bachelor show, and normally every night when I'm watching TV, and hold on, I got to try to find what I'm doing here. When I watch TV, I get ready for the next day's show by going into my history, getting all my history stuff, and I type that up on my typewriter, and then the next morning I put in the birthday stuff. But the history stuff I do in advance while I'm watching the show. But I was watching The Bachelor, and I forgot to do it, so I took pictures of it on my phone. So I'm going to go for some of the history to take pictures off my phone to tell you this day in history. And the most important one I have here on my phone, number 1, is Rosa Parks. 1955, bus boycott in Montgomery after she refused to give up her seat in the so-called colored section to make room for a white guy. Martin Luther King Jr. led the boycott, lasted over a year, and the desegregation of the buses followed. The merchants were losing all their money, and it's basically thought of as the beginning of the civil rights movement. What are you chuckling about in there?
Because Jeff, on Facebook yesterday, put a photo of a bus, okay?
Yeah.
And the bus, has the wraparound, little advertisements, and it's basically a commemoration of Rosa Parks and what she did, right?
Yeah.
And it's on a bus.
Okay.
But Jeff points out they put it on the back of the bus.
Back of the bus.
He says when your 25-year-old ad buyer is completely ignorant of history.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some kids fresh out of college, Harvard or Princeton or say, that's hysterical. 319. Let's go. We'll talk about all. We got to do. Let's get to the phones. First up, it's Courtney. Hello, Courtney. You're on the radio. Happy Friday. God bless you for calling. What's going on?
Hey, Kimmer. First, I love you guys, and you make my traffic drive so pleasant. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's our honor.
I was calling about your clearing your storage unit out.
Yeah.
I have one suggestion.
Yeah.
Take a picture of whatever you love that you really don't need anymore. Throw it away, give it away, and just keep the picture, and you can always look back at a memory photo and go, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they say that's true, but it's like with my kids. At Christmas time or birthdays, I always say, if you ever get a chance to actually take a physical picture, I love photographs in a frame. You know what I mean? That I can see. My mantle is covered because I don't want to look at my phone. And by the way, there's you may be familiar with this. There's some kind of a program called, I think it's called 12-12-12, or it's a 3 numbers thing, 999 or whatever, where you theoretically, if you're a hoarder, I'm not a hoarder, but it's close. Seems like it's, you're 999. You pick 9 things you really want, then you pick 9 things you want to donate to someplace, a charity, whatever, and then 9 things you want to throw away. And so if you do it that way, where you're kind of doing in 3 different levels, it kind of makes sense, and it seems like what might make it easier, and do it one step at a time, 9 thing at a time. I don't know. I'm almost want to leave it all there so my kids have to go through it.
Or just get one of those digital photo frames, and that way it just scrolls through all of the memories of your stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I'm just an old goof, you know. I do everything wrong, and it's all catching up to me. But I'll figure something out. Thank you, Courtney. You have a great weekend, sweet doll. And
You too.
all right, sweetie. So nice to talk to you. 3:21, and as Linda's joining us. Hello, Linda. Did you watch the debate last night?
Yes, I did, and I was absolutely 100% confirmed that Newsom is just a POS.
You know,
I think when DeSantis called him up front a liar, and then they would put up, the CDC stats or whatever they were, he would deny in the face of the facts staring him.
Yeah.
And then when he talked about how wonderful Kamala and Biden were, I thought, this man has lost his mind. He's a lunatic.
I think he actually said Biden is 100%. Boy, he's there 100%. Oh my God!
Did. He's got vision problems and he's got other problems. He's a lunatic. And anybody listen to him and believes that the man is a truth teller. I've got some oceanfront property in Kansas I want to show him.
Every time he was confronted with a set of actual facts, he just obfuscated. He danced around and said, "Well, how come you're not taking on Donald Trump?" And I didn't watch. I watched a lot of sound bites. I didn't see all much of the debate. But he would always say, "Well, how come you're not fighting Donald Trump? You're talking about and I said, "What the hell has that got to do with it?" I mean, it was so. Oh my God, he got creamed.
He's so liberal. He's dysfunctional. I mean, he's right up there with the rest of them. If we don't get some change here, is there any way we can unplug this country and replug it?
Just restart it.
That works with your computer.
Yes, you do. It should be that easy. Restart. Reboot.
I wish. Thank you, Kimmer. Love you so much.
You're a sweet girl.
Love listening to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thanks.
Get rid of your stuff or keep it. Let that be punishment for your kids.
Yeah, that could be true.
That's what I'm doing.
Thanks. Yeah, what good is having kids if you can't embarrass them once in a while or humiliate them and make them look nasty?
Let them get down there and go through it after you're gone and say, okay.
All these memories. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Linda. Thanks, sweetie. Have a great weekend. That's very sweet. 3:23. By the way, some of the reactions, James Woods last night said it's a blessing for DeSantis that California doesn't enforce criminal laws anymore because he was murdered. He murdered Newsom. He said DeSantis just ended Newsom's political ambitions. Newsom bragged that California has the world's 5th largest economy. Great, but that's like California having the mountains and the ocean. That was given to Newsom. He's like Will Cain said he's like a child born on third base and thinks he hit a triple. The question is, what did you do with all that inheritance? And the answer is drive people and companies out of California. He's now retreated the state back to first base. What a great way of thinking of it. He's born on third and thinks he hit a triple. And this is incredible. Remember the name Andrew Pollock. You will in a second. Andrew Pollock says, my daughter died in the Parkland, Mass. shooting. Ron DeSantis was not even governor when it happened, but I'm sure as hell glad he became governor shortly after. Governor DeSantis fired the incompetent people responsible. He didn't demonize lawful gun owners. Newsom is trash. Another, Kaylee, it's an absolutely jaw-dropping moment. Gavin Newsom declines to say there should be any restrictions on abortion in the 7th, 8th, or 9th month of pregnancy. Babies able to survive outside the womb. We're talking full-term children that can feel pain. No restrictions? Unbelievable. I want quickly, Dave Rubin on, I've never seen anything like this. Newsom literally can't say one sentence that's true. DeSantis constantly laying out facts from reality. This disconnect from reality by Newsom and the left have exactly what needed to be exposed. Is there anyone on Twitter.com that thinks Newsom doing a good job here? We could just ended his POTUS ambitions. Conservatives celebrated Ron DeSantis. He's kicking Newsom's butt. I mean, just one after another. DeSantis went up against a Democrat Party star, our buddy Clay Travis, on before us, and I was 100% wrong in the debate. I thought Newsom would be likable and intelligent. Boy, was I incorrect. This was a massacre. If this had been a boxing match, Newsom's corner would have thrown in the towel. I mean, holy smokes. I found we have a little sound action let's play for the little people in case you missed it.
Yes, we do.
A little something from the debate last night.
All right, this is him talking about the poop map.
Oh, that was the that's got to be one of the. If you haven't, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, if you haven't heard this, I mean, you may have, and you should hear it again. This may be one of the greatest debate moments of any debate of all time when this happened last night.
This is a map of San Francisco. There's a lot of plots on that. You may be asking, what is that plotting? Well, this is an app where they plot the human feces that are found on the streets of San Francisco. You see how almost the whole thing is covered, because that is what has happened in one of the previous greatest cities this country's ever had. Human feces is now a fact of life, except when a communist dictator comes to town. Then they cleaned up the streets. They lined the streets with Chinese flags. They didn't put American flags there. They cleaned everything up. So they're willing to do it for a communist dictator, but they're not willing to do it for their own people.
Unbelievable. A slam dunk mic drop. I mean, holy. And by the way, he said feces on television. I mean, by God.
He could have said duty.
I would have said doo-doo.
Yeah, this is a duty map.
I would have said doo-doo. But DeSantis blasting him because Florida's, Newsom is trying to say that Florida is not the freedom state, that California is the freedom state. Well, DeSantis notes that while California led certain freedoms other states did not, they were also freedoms such as freedom to defecate in public. The freedom state, he said, you're looking people down and doing all this stuff, and California has freedoms other states don't. Yeah, the freedom to defecate in public in California. I mean, I remember that's a state who they had the guy arrested in the Pacific Ocean on a freaking kayak or raft or something, sunboard, for not having a mask on. I mean, my God.
If I may interject here for your bingo card players.
No, you hush.
What?
I sneezed and the mic was on.
I did hear that. I thought that was Pete. Damn it. We have an over-under on how many times Founder forgets to turn the mic off and does a sneeze or a or something like that. He got a hork a loogie into the bucket over there, you know. It's like a freaking spittoon in the Wild West, 1870. Let me get you a spittoon for
Carol's
Christmas.
on the line. She has an idea for you real quick on how to deal with some of your belongings that you're thinking about getting rid of.
Did you say Carol?
Yes.
Carol, hi, Carol. You're on the radio. Happy Friday. What's going on?
Hey there, Kimmer. I just wanted to relay to you that I'm a memory person, and I have a bunch of stuff I need to sort.
Uh-huh.
A couple Christmases ago, I finally decided to go in my closet, and I pulled out a scarf that I haven't worn in years, but it was a memory because it was a store I used to work at, and it had the label on it. I finally struggled and got rid of it, and after Christmas, I went to pick up a pizza, and I saw a guy sitting in a chair, and he had his jacket on and a scarf, and it was flipped over, and I saw the label. I already knew it was mine, and I looked at him, and I said, I love that scarf. And he said, thank you, and a big grin, and he said, my mother gave me this for Christmas.
Oh, my.
So I want you to think about that as you go through your stuff, how you can bless someone.
What? Now, did you give it to, like, Goodwill or something? Or
I did.
Oh, my, what a great story. Now did he, well, I assume you didn't say, by the way, I used to own that, or did you? Or did you talk about it?
No.
Yeah. Oh, what a sweet story. Oh, my God. So you took that special scarf that had memories for you, gave it to Goodwill, and then you found a guy wearing it, and his mother gave it. Well, I'm gonna have a weep a tear here, I think, probably. That's one of the sweetest things I've ever heard.
I could receive.
I'm sorry, say again, please.
It was the best gift I could receive, to see me giving up something that I just had stored in my closet that I wasn't using, that someone else, it made a difference.
Wow. Well, that is so sweet. Carol, you are a sweet Kimmer Babe lady, and I hope you have the best Christmas ever this year and gift-giving season of whatever you call it, and I'm so glad you called. Thank you.
And I look forward to hearing about you cleaning up your place.
I'm taking all those keychains to Goodwill tomorrow. Well, I don't think they really want the keychains, but anyway, thank you, sweet. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, Carol. 3:30 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. My goodness.
International conflicts running hot and Israel at war. You can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey Atlanta, it's Tug. Get ready to kick winter to the curb with Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Picture this, a home where cold can't touch you, where warmth and comfort reign supreme. That's the promise of Central Heating and Air Conditioning. And now for a limited time, Central is offering up to $2,000 in rebates on qualifying Carrier systems. Yes, you heard right, up to $2,000 in your pocket. Why settle for cold when you can bask in the warmth of a brand new Carrier system? It's not just about comfort, it's about savings too. Central Heating and Air Conditioning is committed to bringing you the best in heating and air solutions. They're not just keeping your homes warm, they're keeping your pockets happy too. So, Atlanta, don't let the chill catch you off guard. Upgrade your old system today. Call them now at 770-GET-HEAT. That's 770-GET-HEAT. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta Carrier experts, are standing by to make your winter cozier than ever. When it comes to comfort and savings, nobody does it better than Central, where warmth meets excellence.
We're smart, we care, we're Central Heating and Air.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Jeff Wood and Zachary Hyatt from the Cobb County Neighborhood Safety Commission. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Hamilton.
And I'm Brian Finner, and here to talk to you about something serious.
Did you know that nearly 40,000 kids in Georgia try to commit suicide every year? As a parent, I can't think of anything worse than a kid that thinks there is no hope.
There's a lot of pressure on young athletes, and we need to make sure we let them know it's okay to not be okay, and even more okay to seek out help if they need it.
So we need to talk to our kids about how they're doing and how their friends are doing. We need to make sure they can talk to us and that there's always hope.
We need to teach them to leave stuff on the field, and if they can't, if it's too much, they need to know there is help.
Suicide prevention starts with all of us.
If you know anyone that's in distress, call 988 for assistance or go to PreventSuicideGA.org. Again, dial 988 or visit PreventSuicideGA.org.
We've got to take care of ourselves and our kids, and hope changes everything.
Rhino here for my elves over at True Prep. Don't give a tie or socks or even that thoughtless gift card from a big box store. No, show you put some care and thought into their gift by giving them a gift from one of the most unique stores in Atlanta, True Prep. And as an added bonus, for every $50 value spent on a gift card, True Prep will give you a bonus card with a $5 added bonus. Stop by in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at TruePrep.com. That's TRUPrep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
The legend Neal Boortz is only on Extra 106.3. With daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3. And catch all of Neal's commentary on the Extra app.
Oh, did I give you my magic stick? What?
Yes, you did, and it's all ready to go.
Oh, it is? Because I remember I handed it to you. I actually gave it to you.
Yes, you did.
Is that a euphemism?
No. Always look him in the eye. No, I'm playing Bob Dylan here, and let me do this, and now I'll tell you why I was freaking out there for a second. On this day in 2013, Bob Dylan was placed under judicial investigation in France for allegedly provoking ethnic hatred of Croats. No, it's a Croatians. I meant Croat. My mistake. Croats. Yeah. I guess you pronounce. Do you pronounce it Croats or Croats? I don't really know. Croats, really. There was a legal complaint lodged by a Croat association in France over an interview in 2012 that Dylan gave to Rolling Stone magazine, where he said he compared the relationship between Jews and Nazis to that of Serbs and Croats. And so they investigated him for some reason. Anyway, playing Bob Dylan, and Flounder just put on my magic stick, my music magic stick, recently the Bob Dylan, not only this one, or the one where he says, if you were my friend, you wouldn't talk about me behind my back, whatever that one's called. And the one of his, the one that I hadn't heard before and I really liked. There was a ballad of, oh God, I hate when I do this.
Is it on the list you gave me today?
No. It's the one you put on before. It's his version of a song, Forever Young. Was that it? Forever Young, I think. Young. Put on. And today I brought in a list for Flounder, if you would put on my music magic stick, including what I mentioned the other day, Rhinestone Cowboy by Mr. Glenn Campbell. I forgot what the other ones I had. Kelly Clarkson.
Let's see, we got Tom Waits.
Oh, Pete told me about that, and I have not heard this song. And didn't Pete say you should put that one on there,
that
right?
One's on there. Rhinestone Cowboy, Neil Diamond, I Am, I Said, and Kelly Clarkson, A Moment Like This.
Moment Like This. That's a good song. That's it's a happy one, but it's a tearjerker in a way. And I Am, I Said, I love, Neil Diamond had a special meaning for me back when I had some serious things going on in my life, and just for the record. Anyway, thank you, Flounder. That's great. Excuse me. Whack.
Thank God those days are behind you. And it's all sweetness and joy now.
Well, no, yeah, I've had such a fulfilling life. I just it's really just a gift every day. Just the happiness and the joy that I feel and can share.
You're the gift, Kimmer.
You're the gift. I just keeps on giving. It's just, oh my God. One day I'll be walking down the street, probably on the way to work, and I'll just melt. It'll just be, whoa, what happened to that guy? I say, well, that was a Kimmer. Oh, I heard what was going, jeez, it's just one big puddle of, vapid, erased fumes or something. Sorry, I've got to stop this day drinking. Birthdays include child molester and incestuous Woody Allen is 88 today. I'll be damned. He's made it to 88. I got to go up to my phone now because again I got so distracted last night I forgot I didn't do any typing at all on my history list, so I got to do it on my phone. 1835 on this very day, Hans Christian Andersen published his first book of fairy tales. Red Fish, Blue Fish, I Hate You Fish, Cat in the Blender. I think those are some of the famous ones. Those aren't the ones. Get them all mixed up.
The Cat in the Blender.
Who farted? I think it was one of my favorites.
Yes. Horton hears a fart.
Horton can poo, can you? I don't know. What is something like that? Anyway, and by the way, and by the way, I don't know what's the matter with me. What am I doing? I'm giggling and being stupid. Because I'm giggling. Because I'll tell you what last night, because that stupid Golden Bachelor, when they brought him out on the set, I won't take long on this at all, by the way. They brought her out on the set together, and they were all googly, and she's all giggly and googly. And I'm thinking to myself, I hate you. And I just can't imagine, try acting like a 15-year-old again at the final stage when you're... Anyway, sorry. All right, one more history thing. Giggly, I'll give you a giggly. like the smacker. And I don't believe in that. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. 1913, Ford Motor Company began using a new movable assembly line and ushered in the era of mass production. What a day that was, 1913. Anyway, so there you go. A couple of history things. Thing with the thing there. All right, now, some sad news, although, my God, the woman was 93 years old. Sandra Day O'Connor passed away. Former Supreme Court Justice. What a story on this woman, too, by the way. First woman to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court. She stepped down in 2006. I think she was, 2006. She was, in 2018, she was 88, revealed that she was in the early stages of dementia. She was nominated by President Reagan in 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor. A couple of things. Won't spend a lot of time on this, but she was the moderate to the conservative Rehnquist court, and so she was frustrating to a lot of Republicans. They said she would, they wanted more of a balance, but she was accused of watching how the other justices voted in their conferences and behind closed doors, and then she would step in to try to be the swing voter to tip the balance the way she wanted it to. And anyway, who knows about what's going on with the court? But she was very well known, very well respected. Others said her opinions were kind of narrow. She grew up on 200,000 acres of land and ranch land in Arizona, 25 miles from the nearest town. Can you imagine that? No running water and no electricity in her home until she was 7. By then, she was roping, riding, and repairing fences with the cowboys. She knew how to shoot a gun. She knew how to steer a pickup. She grew up possessed with a strong will, self-reliance, and ambition. Well, I guess so. She went into Stanford University at the age of 16, graduated magna cum laude with a BA in economics, got her law degree from Stanford in 1952. Oh, and this is pretty kinky. Sandra Day O'Connor served at law school on the Stanford Law Review under its then editor-in-chief, also a student in her class, future Supreme Court Chief Justice William Rehnquist. They were students together. He finished first in their class of 102 students. She finished third. And they dated in 1950. And Rehnquist asked her to marry him in 1951. She ultimately turned him down, broke off the relationship when she moved to Washington, D.C. It was one of 4 proposals that Sandra Day O'Connor turned down during her Stanford years before she married a guy named John J. O'Connor in 1952. When she got her law degree, nobody would hire her. She was a woman in 1952. Women couldn't get hired to law firms, stuff like that. One firm said, "I'll hire you as a legal secretary." And that led to some pretty serious stuff. So after that, one thing led to another, and she began in the Supreme Court and passed away at the age of 93. Another quick newsy thing of some fairly serious nature. By the way, if you want to join us in any of this and talk about the debate, 404-741-1230, or talk about the Golden Bachelor, how did he pick Teresa? I can't freaking believe it. She's a snake. Look at her face on her. It's like, God, she's got a putty stuck under her thing there, and God, and asked her. They talked about the night, with the last 2 ladies. They get to spend the night together in the horny suite, the sodomy suite. I don't know what they call it, the love suite or some freaking thing where they spend the night if they want her together. And of course they did, one at a time. And they asked her. Apparently he changed his mind after he spent the night with Teresa. And I'll tell you in a little while how that worked out. Sorry. 344. Now this actual news story. Shut up. The first House lawmaker to be expelled in decades, George Santos from New York. They kicked him out today, 2/3 majority vote, and it was not a problem. It took a 2/3 majority 2 decades ago. Jim Traficant of Ohio, the Democrat, was kicked out, but he was kicked out because he had been convicted of 10 felonies, including racketeering and bribery. George Santos has been indicted, but he has not been convicted of anything. Obviously, it's clear that he used a lot of his donations and his political money on luxury goods and treatments for Botox and stuff like that. And apparently was doing some really nasty shenanigans stuff. But he hasn't been convicted of anything. The vote was 311 to 114. More Republicans voted to keep him than oust him, but still they did not stick together on this. Darrell Issa from California said he would take away the presumption of innocence if he's convicted, that he's he's entitled to. And he said, what about Bob Menendez? And that's a great question. Senator Bob Menendez is caught with gold bars and Mercedes cars and all kinds of stuff representing Egypt as opposed to his own country. And he's not been convicted yet, but he's been indicted on all kinds of things and accused of all kinds of worse things than Santos. Santos had been accused of taking people's money to buy, Botox and stuff instead of his political donations. Menendez is accused of representing a foreign country with his wife for Egypt. So, I mean, how do you, no kidding, this isn't fair. And, of course, there'll be now a special election in New York. And so who knows whether we're getting another Republican or whether we just lost another one. I mean, it's freaking unbelievable. And coming up, and it says quarter four already. Jussie, it's not Jesse, it's Jussie. This guy should be in prison for 15 years. What he did is as bad as anything anybody did at the so-called insurrection on the mostly peaceful Ashley Babbitt January 6th day. Jussie Smollett's responsible for a lot more harm to this country than what they did. 346 with a Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Friday time, look out.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
Biden's 81.
Yeah.
He's already living on borrowed time. Really? I mean, think about it.
It's a grueling job, both mentally and physically. This man can't do the job. He's proven to us every single day that he can't do the job. Things are going to get worse.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
The 15th annual Polar Plunge is coming, and we need your help. Right now, you can help raise money for Special Olympics Georgia athletes to provide year-round sports training and athletic competitions in a variety of different sports. All participants will collect pledges from friends and family in exchange for the opportunity to jump into the icy waters of Ackworth Beach in the middle of winter. All proceeds will benefit the 17,731 athletes of Special Olympics Georgia. To sign up and learn more, visit SpecialOlympicsGA.org.
Hey, it's Los here with the legend herself, Rhonda Duffy. And Rhonda, how does Duffy save sellers so much money?
So home sellers, let me ask you, is it fair for you to pay the whole 6% commission if you find the buyer? Why fund the agent's retirement versus your own? With Duffy Realty, you can list and sell for less than 1%. Real estate made simple for millennials to the daughters of the revolution. Anyone can use Duffy Realty.
Okay, so when the market slows down, how are you helping your sellers on that front?
I want to ask, have you ever considered a lease purchase or a rental on your property? You know, this is like being a fisherman and casting a wider net on the other side of the boat that catches all the fish. And that is one of the many benefits and rights that we give Duffy sellers. Casting a wider net means that you're on the market for sale, lease purchase, and rental to see what opportunities are there.
Get the most out of your home sale with Duffy. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com. Immerse yourself in premium nationwide coverage, contract-free plans, and always-free activation with Consumer Cellular. Now at your local Target. While you're there, check out our newest phone, the Iris Flip. It's all the phone and camera you need. Plus, it features a user-friendly design, making it the perfect flip phone. From now to December 16th, you can score $10 off when you buy the Consumer Cellular Iris Flip at Target, making it only $39.99. Visit your nearest Target for the full scoop.
If you have been to Chuckingham Palace, you know that we now have gorgeous double front doors. Well, Dan Watkins, the guy that put that door in, told me some interesting things about it at dinner.
Atlanta has a weird market for front doors. For 40 years, builders have been installing odd-sized side lights as part of the front door, which is a huge problem now that people realize how much better their home looks with modern and beautiful double doors. Most companies will tell you the double door installation can't be done. It can be done, and we're the company to do it, no matter how odd the opening is. Let All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors be the ones to tell you yes.
For the latest coverage of Israel at war, keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust bringing you the latest.
We'll give them up if you stop the bombing. No. We're going to continue the bombing until you give them up.
To negotiate in any shape, form, or fashion would show vulnerability.
They're negotiating from fear.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Dun, 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 dun. The Eagles. How you doing? It's 3:49, almost 3:50 with the Kimmer Pete Flounder. Esther and Marty coming up here, too. This day. And I don't know this song. What's this song?
This is In the City.
In the City. I'll be darned.
I thought this was a Joe Walsh song.
That's not Joe Walsh singing, is it?
Yes.
It is Joe Walsh?
I think the Eagles have sung it. I think it's a Joe Walsh tune, but the Eagles have done it at their live shows and stuff. But I think in the
guitar, that's everything.
Yeah, but I think in the when you read it talks about In the City, doesn't it?
Right, well, we'll see. On this day, 2012, San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders declared Peaceful Easy Feeling Day in honor of Jack Tempchin, who wrote the Eagles' hit In the City. The ceremony took place at a hot dog joint called the Wiener Schnitzel, or is that Wiener Schnitzel, where he wrote the last verse while waiting for his order.
Okay.
Tempchin was presented with a golden wiener at the event. Yes, sir.
I think it means he wrote the song Peaceful Easy Feeling in the city of San Diego, because I've eaten at Wiener Schnitzels, and they're very good there in San Diego.
I'll be darned. Well, now, see, I don't know whether the song...
then I got
Eagles
it wrong.
In the City.
Wait a minute. That's hysterical.
He wrote the song while he was in the city, so let's play In the City. Why don't you play Barry Manilow? I wrote the song. How about that?
I built this city.
That's about the Starship Enterprise, whatever the hell they are. Oh, my God. We've totally lost it. Hold on, you guys. Esther and Marty, right there. I got to do a birthday. I have to get to my thing. Let's see. Zoe Kravitz is 35 years old today. Catwoman in the Batman. Lita Lestrange in the Fantastic Beasts movies. Zoe Kravitz's dad is Lenny Kravitz, and her mom is Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet from the Cosby Show, the pervert rapist. Anyway, Zoe Kravitz is 35 years old. And I'll do one quick history thing if you don't mind. Here we go. In 1994, recovering from East Coast inflicted gunshot wounds suffered the day before, Tupac Shakur was convicted on charges of sexually abusing a fan in his hotel room. And by fan, I don't think they mean the things that hamstring that hangs from the ceiling and goes round and round. Anyway, it's 3:52 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. To the phones. It's Esther. Hi, Esther. Happy Friday. Let her rip. How you doing? What's up?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. Love y'all. I listen to y'all every day on my way home from work, and I was in the drive-through line, and I had an interaction with the lady that was giving me my change, and I immediately thought, oh, my God, Kimmer will die.
What happened?
Because my total was $4.96. I gave her a $20 bill. This was I think she was probably in high school. Wasn't an older lady, but probably in high school. And I kept looking at her and looked like she was having some trouble. And I thought, well, maybe there's trouble with the cash machine. But then she left, and she came back with her phone. And she was trying to figure out how much change she was going to give me, and she had to subtract it on her phone.
Oh, my God. We're doomed. But now you got to get an app to look up change on a 20. Oh, my God.
and it was $4.96. I mean, that, it wasn't like an odd number. It was like, what? She went and got her phone, and I was listening to you all, and I said, I've got to call Kimmer because he will die.
Oh, that's unbelievable. And by the way, one of the fun things to do, try this sometime. If it's $4.96, give her a $20 bill and 6 cents. And then she'll have to deduct the 6 cents from the $4.96 to make it $4.90, so she gives you back a dime. Plus and just because you tell her, well, I don't want all those pennies, and so I wanted to get a dime back, and it'll mess them up.
Right. But I thought, but you're exactly right. We're doomed.
Oh,
it's like,
Lordy.
what is going on? But anyway, all right, I thought you would get a kick out of that.
Thank you, Esther. That's a great story. You have a great week. Be careful out there. Thank you. What a sweet story. All right, thank you. Kimmer Babe right there at 3:54. By the way, speaking of drive-thrus, Pete found a story about the new McDonald's hamburger. He's getting a makeover. We'll get to it in a second. First, I'm going to get back to phone calls. Go to the front of the line. It's Marty. Hey, Marty, how's it going, man? Welcome aboard. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, guys. Just wanted to say a long-time caller, first-time listener. Just want to comment on the Golden Bachelor. When they were in the freak chat, do you think the reason why he changed his mind because she gave up the A?
Well, I'm not sure whether we've...
What?
The absolute answer for the question. Yeah. In fact, hold on a minute. Let me get there's a quote in here that I'll find it here in a second. Got it right here. Where the hell is it now? Oh, crap. Now, here it is. Somewhere in here. At the end of the show, when they all bring them out together, somebody wanted to know, because apparently Gary said that after he made his mind up, after they spent the night together, apparently it was clear. And so the audience and the host guy wanted to know what was it that happened. And let's see. I've got the quote in here exactly somewhere. And now I can't find it. She says basically, I knocked his boots off. Which was her way of saying, I'll bet she did things to him he had never even heard of, because I can't otherwise imagine. I didn't like her from the beginning. Did you watch the whole series, or what is your opinion? What do you think?
No. Did not watch it. I'm afraid to admit my wife watched it, but I did not. But she did things to him. No. She let him do things to her.
Yeah, that's very likely, too.
All right, you bastards have a good weekend.
You're a beautiful bastard yourself, Marty. You obviously have been listening to me on the morning show. Anyway, that's good. Now, is that another one there, Flounder?
We have one more, Ricky.
Ricky, you're on the radio. Happy Friday, man. What's going on? Hey, Ricky.
Timmer.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting a little feedback.
That's an issue on your end.
Have you turned your radio down?
Thanks for sharing.
The radio is down. I'm on headphones.
Okay.
Anyway, want to ask you, I know you fought in
Hello.
Fought in Vietnam. Was there anything different you would do?
About
to
what?
Fight
what
against?
Ricky, I'm sorry. I don't. Okay, try to be coaching and clear of what you're actually asking me. What do you want to know?
Is this AI?
Ricky, can you actually?
I think we lost him.
Okay, I don't know what he.
He was trying. When I was talking to him on the phone, he was asking, "Is there anything? If you were in Vietnam, are there any similarities with what's going on in the Middle East with Israel and Hamas?"
God. Well, I don't possibly know how to answer that. In what way? Terrorism, fear, children dying. I mean, I saw kids being blown up, and I'm telling you, it's. But I'm not your source on. I'm not your source on combat expertise and leading battalions into battle and planning for overtaking of an enemy bastion. I'm not that guy. I'm not. Believe me, I'm not anywhere near that kind of guy. And my experiences aren't really, interest or of importance to anybody, probably. My kids say, gee, I didn't talk about Vietnam. Nobody talked about me. It was not a thing. Anyway, let's do McDonald's real quick before we go. McDonald's is having a burger makeover, and this actually sounds pretty good. I haven't even seen a McDonald's anywhere near me in years, by the way. They had one and it burned down. They're trying to be more like Five Guys. So McDonald's now, after doing like a years-long testing kitchen thing.
Apparently they've been testing this since 2015.
Yeah, for years. They're going to do 6 patties at a time instead of 8 in the mechanism to make sure there's more burger juices. Big Macs get more sauce. Buttery brioche buns will be used in sliced thicker bottom to retain heat. Sesame seeds more randomly scattered to give a homier look. Cheese will be taken out of refrigerators sooner so it melts more during cooking. Onions will be rehydrated and purchased for more juiciness. And lettuce and pickles stored in similar containers so they refresh more often. All right. The new burger at McDonald's coming up. What do you think? 4 o'clock with a Kim Repeat flounder. I guess you can tell it's freaking Friday. I call drinking. I call drinking.
Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
An extra burden on Israel. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how the White House describes what it says Israel knows. The need to minimize civilian casualties now that fighting has resumed in Gaza, including southern Gaza, where many had evacuated from the initial ground operation to the north.
They know that they've got this president's support, this administration's support, as they take the fight to Hamas and the leadership. But obviously, we want to see them act in accordance with the law of war. And I'll tell you this, the Israelis have said themselves that they intend to take that sort of approach. So that's a good thing.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, as Israel confirms a 6th hostage dead, saying they were murdered, though not saying exactly when or how. New York needs a new congressman after George Santos was expelled from the House.
Ethics Committee Chairman Michael Guest did not take expelling George Santos lightly, but he believes the evidence was overwhelming.
No one on the Ethics Committee goes and serves on that committee seeking to expel their fellow members of Congress. But again, this was so extreme.
Guest filed the resolution to oust Santos over accusations he used campaign funds for personal use.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. Some Republicans argue it sets a bad precedent since Santos has not been convicted. Americans might have a harder time finding electric vehicles that qualify for a full $7,500 federal tax credit under new rules proposed today, limiting that credit if the vehicle contains battery materials from China and other countries considered hostile to the U.S.
The proposal could complicate President Biden's goal of half of all new vehicles sold in the U.S. to run on electricity by 2030. The U.S. still depends on foreign sources for many critical minerals required for vehicle batteries. Administration officials say the auto industry has taken steps to develop supply chains in the U.S. and distance the industry from China.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. December off to a good start on Wall Street. The Dow up 294 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
Ah, yes.
VIP.
What was that? Vanilla Ice. Yeah, another happy memory. Vanilla Ice on this day in 1990 started a 4-week run at #1 in Britain with Ice Ice Baby. The track sampled the bass intro to The Queen and David Bowie, #1 Under Pressure. I don't know what that means.
That's a song, Under Pressure. You know the song.
To The Queen and David Bowie, #1 Under Pressure. Ice Ice Baby was initially released as the B-side to the rapper's cover of Play That Funky Music, White Boy. And that became the A-side after DJs started playing it instead of the other one. That's cool. Yeah, that was the first gift I ever bought from Flashback. 404. Birthdays include the sometimes funny and awfully disgusting.
This is the original version.
I'm sorry, this is? Oh, yeah, I was going to go say. This one I remember. What was that one you played? Was that the British one that we were talking about?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice is the rapper. This is right here. This is the original version by Queen and David Bowie.
I got you. Well, let's play this for a second.
It's called In the City by Joe Wong.
Yeah, you got that easy, peaceful feeling over there. Anyway, so you want to play it for a second? Here we go.
Well, it's just the bass line that he ripped off.
I got you. Yeah, that's definitely the same thing. Birthdays include the sometimes funny and disgusting Sarah Silverman, 53. Well, I remember I saw her doing one routine, and it was hysterical. I mean, she was really, really funny, but then I saw another one where she was just really gross. I don't know. Anyway, but she's obviously, and by the way, I can't tell whether she's sexy or not. She's definitely got a look about her, but I don't know. I have 405. Not that matters. I'm sorry. I brought it up. I'm a guy, so our history note includes on this day in 2014, AMC had to issue an apology for screwing up on social media. They posted a major spoiler to Facebook right after the Walking Dead mid-season finale and revealed the death of a main character. Fans who hadn't seen the episode yet were furious because it showed a picture of, shall I say it now? This was 2014. It was 9 years ago. I'm going to say it. It showed a picture of Daryl carrying a body with a caption, R.I.P. Beth. So, pretty much, you bastards. Anyway.
I didn't know she died.
Oh, well, but then start watching 9 years. We're supposed to wait 9 years? My God, man. And you'd never seen the show, so you have no idea who that is either.
I've seen the show.
Oh, right then. 406. My God. And by the way, I'm serious about this Jussie Smollett business. Today, the Illinois Appeals Court upheld his stupid conviction for a teeny-weeny little thing that basically let him off the hook for everything he did, as far as I'm concerned. And now his legal team at Jussie Smollett's going to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Jussie Smollett, the actor from Empire, the TV series, who is black and gay and made a point of it, staged that hate crime in 2021. The trial convicted him of a misdemeanor. Basically, he reported to the Chicago police. Remember this at like 3:00 in the morning. He was supposedly out looking for something to eat when two black guys wearing ski masks and MAGA hats beat him up and put a noose around his neck. And then he kept the noose around his neck when he called the police to have them investigated as a hate crime. And he was saying, those MAGA people. And remember the outrage around the country. Hell, Vice President's side piece, a shiftless and lazy Vice President Carmella, once said he was a hero with a modern-day lynching. Remember that?
Yep.
Unbelievable. And political speak, this was 2021. It was an important time in our history. Guess who was president back then? I mean, this was unbelievable. As though he'd be out walking along 3:00 in the morning at 20 below zero in Chicago in the middle of winter, trying to find a Subway restaurant or something, and got mugged by two MAGA guys who happened to be black and put a noose around his neck. Well, that was a bunch of crap. In fact, later on, the two black guys admitted on TV, they came forward to say, yeah, he paid us. It was all fake. We staged it. So he got convicted of staging a hate crime, but it was basically a misdemeanor, and got 150 days in jail, sentenced to probation, and a fine of $120,000, which is, a fine of $25,000, and restitution to the city of Chicago for $120,000. And so he's suing all the way. He still says that he was an innocent victim. And remember this dirtbag, you scummy dirtbag, black gay, I don't give a crap about that, you slimy little worm. You're slimy little measly little worm. He says, when he got to court, the sentencing hearing, this killed me. He said, quote, I did not do this, and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go there, I did not do it to myself. You have to know that. And he lead him away. I'm innocent. You slimy little worm. You weasel little sniveling little piece of scum. He was released 6 days later while he appealed it. Well, the appeal came back today, denied. Now his attorney said, hold on a minute. No, we're going all the way, baby. They're going to the Supreme Court, my friends. Yeah, that's right. Holy crap. Still saying he's innocent. We saw the two guys admitted you paid him. You paid them.
It's on videotape of them buying the rope.
Yeah, the surveillance video from the department store, or the hardware store, showed him buying the rope at the counter. My God. And the damage that he did.
Yes.
The vice president's side piece was saying, well, it's a modern-day lynching. You white supremacists, you MAGA people. And, and President showers with daughter. Comes out, with a flaming red bowels of hell with a Marine guarding him. So talking about you MAGA Republicans. This was more evidence of the division of this country. It started under Putty Tat. Anyway, my God. All right, 4:10. Let's do this story. And Pete and I had a little discussion about it in the first place. I'm going to leave the woman's name out of the story. And the reason is that it's really a bizarre story. And for some reason, the video just was made public, I guess, today. And since it was released today, it's had 2.5 million views. The footage is of a woman in Georgia on the Tybee Island beach in July of 2021 on a beach, and it shows that she was apparently covered herself under a blanket, but she was sort of seen doing some gyrations and heard moaning, and somebody called the cops and said, hey, there's families here, and there's a woman who's over there with a vibrating instrument of some kind, and seems to be going through a little thing with a thing there. So the cops showed up, and today the body cam footage was released. And the woman, who was 34, I'm not going to mention her name because of what happened at the end. She was approached by cops. Some families reported her behavior on Tybee Island Beach, and she admits the cops slap handcuffs on her. She's wearing a one-piece swimsuit, holding a water bottle, and appears distressed when they approached by the cops. She said, "What did I do? What did I do?" And the guy says, "Well, apparently you were on the beach." And she said, "Who saw that?" He said, "Well, is this one of my buddies?" It wasn't one of your buddies, man. The cop said it's a family complaining. She says, "Okay, do I get a ticket?" And the cop says, "Well, so you had the there." She says, "Well, I just put it in there. I covered up and had a thing. I was sorry. I was just very stressed, and so I had an arrival." And the cop said, "Yeah, I got you. Hang tight for me." And she said, I'm sorry. I was in the water." She said, "Please don't do this to me," as they handcuff her and take her away. Go through her backpack. Retrieve they describes it as a bullet-style vibrating machine, as they call it. She apologized, being booked for indecent exposure, disorderly conduct. She did. "I didn't think anybody would see me. She was just having a bad day, was stressed out, and was there." She could have faced 12 months in jail for 20 seconds of gratification, according to her lawyer. Well, here's the bad news: is the woman 8 months later has been revealed killed herself. For being caught by the apparently I don't know whether her family's involved in some kind of lawsuit about this or whatever, and why this footage is released. And again, I'm not going to mention her name because the last thing she'll be remembered for is that she killed herself after being caught months before farkalukalating with herself on the beach at Tybee Island.
If you've ever been there, there's two sides. The north side is very Tony and nice homes and vacation homes. The southern side is basically a place for college kids like me hanging out there in the 80s and biker bars and stuff like that. And we did things on that beach that makes what she did look like child's play.
I mean, to me, the story is just really, it's not a very nice story, but the fact that she killed herself after they, handcuffed her and took her away, isn't that a little excessive?
Yeah, a ticket would have been.
I mean, God, or maybe to take her over by the patrol car and talk to her and write her a ticket and say, "Okay, you better get out of here before." I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a pro cop guy. I'm not complaining about the police. Clearly, I assume a supervisor probably said, "Well, you better bring her in," or so. I don't know. I don't know what the law says, but I feel so bad about it. I'm not going to mention her name. She killed herself, for God's sakes, 8 months after that or something. I don't know. It's just. Seems, can't we all get along? Almost 4:14 with the Kevin Pete Flounder. It is Friday. Let it rip, baby. Anything goes. 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. There you go.
It's time time for the Boortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, more of a rant this morning than a commentary. I'm aiming this at you Gen Z myrmidons. You know who you are, the ones that say, no, I wouldn't fight for America. Actually, I'm aiming this at the Gen Z myrmidons and the adults in this country that actually give them any credit. Think of all the things we hear from these useful idiots. I'm non-binary. My pronouns are quark and snark. Israel is an occupier and a colonizer. Palestinians are all sweetness and light. Hitler should have got the job done. All these things we hear from Gen Z, and then the adults that listen to them. These protesters against Israel, these people that think the goal of Hamas is to liberate Palestine. If you listen to them, you're aiding and abetting a temporary mental illness. I say temporary because sooner or later, their brains do actually fully develop, but not at this point. Oh, Gen Z, you believe in science. Well, here's science for you. You are not generally capable of rational thought or reasoning until your brain, generally unused up to this point, is fully developed. In a broad sense, your opinions are not worth listening to because you don't have the capacity to form rational, well-thought-out opinions. With a little help, that may change for many of these kids, but until then, we just have to look at them, shake our heads, and hope that things will get better for them in the future. Hell, who knows? They might even become actual self-sufficient people at some point. But at this point, the message we need to deliver to these youthful protesters is nobody is paying attention. You're not worthy of it. Neal Boortz, Extra 106.3.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, right here on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. Each Saturday and Sunday at noon, you can catch my show where we talk about all the issues, local, national, and global. If you miss an episode, you can catch all my content at the Podcast Park where I put out new episodes of the Ben Burnett Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, featuring long-form interviews with the people who create your perspective. Thanks for listening to Extra 106.3, Atlanta's all-conservative talk station. See you around, Atlanta.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves and choosing Truist One checking. No overdraft fees, lots of perks you can cheer for, and when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One checking, one simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area, Truist Bank member FDIC.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? With Pete Davis and Flounder 418. Bippity boppity, my boys and girls. It's 1989 time right now with Sly and the Family Stone. And Sly himself was sentenced on this day in 89 to 55 days after pleading guilty to a charge of driving under the influence of cocaine. 2 weeks later, he also pleaded guilty to possession of cocaine. And then he was sentenced to spend up to 14 months in rehab. Sly and the Family Stone. We have a friend we used to work with. I called Sly and the Family Jim because his name was Jim Sly. So, boom. Birthdays include Bette Midler, 78 years old today. Yeah, good for you, Bet. Oh, and I gotta go find a phone now from a history thing because I got distracted by this stupid Bachelor show. Sorry. Let's see. On this day in history, in 2001, the last Trans World Airlines flight number 220, flies into St. Louis International Airport, ending 76 years of TWA operations, following TWA's purchase by American Airlines, thus ending forever. When the stewardess walks up and says, "Would you like some of our TWA coffee?" You'd say no, but I would like some of your, other beverages, let's say. Guess you had to be of a certain age. Yeah. Or not. All right, let me erase that one and done. Okay, let's see. Oh, a couple of a weird story here in the news today. A fellow in Vietnam was experiencing a lot of pain for months, like 5 months. So he went to the Cuba Friendship Hospital in Dong Hoi. Now, this is unbelievable. Vietnam, thanks for the memories. And there's 2 Vietnam memories. The Cuba Friendship Hospital. What a great name. In Dong Hoi, Vietnam. The 30th Dong Hoi. Choi Duck. Maklom Choi Oi. Chao Ko Depois. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. The 35-year-old guy had headaches for months and months, so they checked him into the hospital. They did a CT scan and revealed that he was suffering from a rare, potentially life-threatening neurological condition caused by the fact that he had a pair of chopsticks up his nose into his brain. He remembered, oh, God, he was in a fight drinking with his I could see it could happen. Those girls are adorable. They're beautiful. They're about 5'1" and 90 pounds, and they have beautiful little fingers. And anyway, he remembered a fight he was in drinking 5 months before that, and he said he didn't recall many of the details from the fight, but he did remember somebody stabbing him in the face with something. Well, doctors took the freaking chopsticks out of his brain, out of his skull. And he's said to be in stable condition, and they're going to let him out of the hospital. So, man, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. 422 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Also, some nasty, horrible habits of boyfriends coming up here in the news as well. 422, if you want to join us, it's 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Boyfriends, bad habits, going through social media. A woman has revealed the disgusting reason she finally dumped her boyfriend. She couldn't take it anymore. And apparently she has a lot of friends insisting that probably made sense. The problem was she discovered he had a habit of only changing his bed sheets twice a year. Oh! Twice a year.
That's pretty bad.
She says it's got to be every week. You need to wash your sheets every week. No. And so he said, "Now wait a minute." He said, "Okay, I'll tell you what." He said, "Well, I wash them every 2 months." She said, "You're lying." He said, "Okay, I'm lying." So she said, "Every 2 months is absolutely disgusting and gross." And he says, "I got a solution. And if you don't like it for musty sheets, you spray some air freshener on the bedding." Spray air freshener on that. She's no.
Flamethrower.
By the way, experts say you should wash your sheets every 2 weeks. It prevents a buildup of dust mites, which feed off your skin cells and sweat and body fluid, stuff like that. By the way, a half of single men admit they wash their sheets at least every 4 months. They wait at least every 4 months. About 12% say they wash them when they remember to wash them. And thousands of people, I'm going to ask you guys here in a minute, thousands of folks have now empathized with a woman. One gal says, "This exchange maybe 3 months in. I lasted 5 months before I moved out and dumped him for the same reason." Another said he also never flushed the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah, and when we discussed moving in and habits, he only told me what I wanted to hear, and I was definitely bamboozled. And one lady said, "That is so foul. I could never share a space with someone like that." And I'm to be honest, I'm going to wash my sheets this weekend because I think probably every 3 weeks. I'll bet you. Because, it's not like there's anybody. The Kimmer Asian cheerleader fan club from the Kimmer's fan club division is a whole other section of the house. So that, but
it's
for
a
me,
rumpus room.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. So, I think every 3 weeks, probably, if I'm honest, maybe every month.
I do mine.
Well, you probably watch them every hour. Flounder,
Well, even before I started dating Veronica, I would do it just because of how bad my allergies used to be, and with dust mite and stuff like that, I'd wash them probably once a week.
Yeah. Now, I think that's real good, Flounder. Pete, what about what would you say honestly is your washing sheet schedule?
Well, you get a new set when you get a new mattress, right? So what's the?
Yeah, every 12 years, something like that.
No, basically, if I get to the first of the month and I haven't washed them yet, I'll wash them at the first of the month. So it's at least every 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
At least, and that's only because it's just me. If there was somebody else here, of course it would be probably once a week or every other week.
Well, if I had a girl living there with me, I'd have somebody come in and take care of all that stuff.
She'd do it. That's why you have the girl there. She'd do
Well, I would make that deal. You do the laundry and you can live for free. That doesn't seem too bad.
No.
Well, there might be another, condition or two in the.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I have nothing. I haven't really thought about this at all.
What?
I swear to God, if the first 30-year-old little hottie from Puerto Rico or something says, "Oh yeah, I'd love to live with you," and I'll do the sheets once every 3 weeks, and that's all I have to do. Fine, you're in. Here's a key. 425. I'm having a little mental issue here, apparently. Speaking of love, yes, and we were for a moment there. Taylor Swift's publicist, okay, that's enough. Just stop all this stuff about Taylor, my God. The Taylor Swift momentum is just unbelievable. I mean, if you wanted to, and I don't, but it pops up on your phone. I mean, it's just all one story after another. Well, now there's her publicist is trying to shut down all the lies about Taylor Swift, including with her past boyfriends, including the guy named Joe Alwyn, whom she was with for 6.5 years. They broke up in April, have not talked about it, but in May, Taylor Swift put out a brand new song called You're Losing Me, told from the point of view of somebody who's desperate for their partner to fight for their relationship, only to be left feeling like it was all an imposition. And she begs her partner in the song, do something, babe. Say something. I lose something, babe. Risk something. Choose something, babe. Unless you're choosing me, kind of deal. So the fans are saying, well, obviously, that was the demise of Taylor and Joe's romance right there.
Well, have you seen him?
No, I don't.
Went from one extreme to the other. He looks like a little blonde-haired beta male.
Is that dance? Is he the dancer guy?
I don't know.
Or a backup singer or something, I think. But yeah, I have seen the picture of them together. Yeah, he's about 5'8" and 160 pounds, and who knows what girls like?
Medium build.
Yeah, just a regular guy. The topic of discussion and conversation for pop culture people is being discussed on gossip pages, including one called De Moi, D-E-U-X, Do Moi, like to me. Anyway,
to me,
which has 2 million followers, and this guy, I think it's a guy, says they were actually married. That Taylor and this guy Joe were married. Now, he shared his belief that Taylor and Joe took a break at some point before their final split, and he says she did have a ceremony in either 2020 or 2021 in Britain, and it was described to me as a marriage by more than one person. It was never made legal, but it was a marriage, and he says, I'm dying on this hill. Put it on my tombstone. I have no reason to lie. I don't give a blank what she does. I'm sorry she didn't tell you guys about it in a song. Just because she didn't sing about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Anyway, so here we now. I don't know about Taylor. And now, yesterday the word came out that she's going to move in. She's moving in. She had moved in, moving van with furniture. Moving in with Travis Kelce, and they want to have a family.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one of the things on the stupid Bachelor thing last night. 428.
Holy Golden Bachelor.
Oh, man. Flounder, good reminding me of the note next time. What do you got in there, Flounder? Oh, man.
I'll be honest, man. When men and women aren't equal. I'm sorry if that hurts your little stupid ears. We're not equal. Because equal means the word same. We're not the same. In fact, that's my favorite thing about a woman, is that she's not a dude. Quit pretending pretending we're the same. I don't walk around, I could have a baby if they'd let me. I can't. People try to make it, we're equal. I want it to be equalized. No, you don't. When any one of you got a babysitter tonight, how many of you picked a dude? None of you. Not because you're sexist, but because you're not dumb. Because the baby would fall off the balcony and you'd be like, why was the baby on the balcony? He's like, I don't know, I came out to smoke. And you're like,
Who's that, Flounder?
That is Jeff Dye.
Jeff Dye. We've heard him before. He's a funny guy. Outstanding. Coming up on 4:30 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Later, we'll have another complaint about Jeffrey Epstein herpes airline, or whatever they call it, Lolita Air. And some more stories that'll make you wonder. And also, the Audubon Society is now caving in, saying, oh, well, the man's a racist. We can't use our society after him. It's all coming up with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Let It Rip Friday.
The Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los.
We will not be energy independent and really devalue the barrel on their side. In fact, we're increasing the number so that they're making even triple or more the amount of money they can sell a barrel for.
Okay, we did that.
We did that.
Joe did that.
$70 billion
I did that.
profits.
I did that.
And we're not talking about $70 billion over 10 years. We're talking about $70 billion a month almost.
The Morning Extra. Now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Only on Extra 106.3.
As the longest continually operating franchise in Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves have plenty of history to share with fans. Tours of Truist Park are offered year-round and take guests behind the scenes to areas normally off-limits during games. With artifacts and exhibits distributed throughout the ballpark, it is a definite must for any Braves or baseball fan. Visit Braves.com/tours to purchase your ticket today. And along with exclusive tours around the ballpark, you can also host a private event at Truist Park. Corporate meetings, trade shows, team building events, birthdays, rehearsal dinners, you name it, Truist Park can host it. Their dedicated staff is sure to bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking for a large space or something more intimate for your next event, there's a venue to accommodate your needs. Visit Braves.com/events for more details. Atlanta Braves Baseball for the A. Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Jeff Wood and Zachary Hyatt from the Cobb County Neighborhood Safety Commission. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree, Georgia's very own outdoor company. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Americold Logistics LLC has an opening for a director automation deployment, job code GJ1102 in Atlanta, Georgia, and other unanticipated locations throughout the United States. Take a role in greenfield and retrofits projects that include automation. This position requires a bachelor's degree or foreign degree equivalent in allied physics, industrial engineering, automation, and industrial electronic engineering or related field of study, plus 5 years of experience can be combo in the job or related occupation position in WCS, PLC, and automation. Position requires approximately 40% travel to warehouse sites, possibility of working remotely with occasional business travel. The offered salary range is $134,410 to $160,181 per year. To apply, mail resume to Americold Logistics LLC. Attention, Barbara Bishop, 10 Glen Lake Parkway, Northeast, South Tower, Suite 600, Atlanta, Georgia 30328.
This is The Kimmer Show. Back on the air every afternoon until 6 p.m. And be here for more conservative talk tomorrow morning on your ride to work with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
It's an experience, all right. 434. How you doing? Kimmer feeding Flounder. Nah. Look at the little high flute going there. Little guitar. 1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their second studio album, Axis, Bold as Love. Hendrix expressed dismay regarding the album cover art. It depicts him and the Experience as various forms of Vishnu, incorporating a painting of them by Roger Law from a photo portrait by Carl Ferris. What do they mean by forms of Vishnu? He said the cover would have been more appropriate had it highlighted
Vishnu.
He said it would have been more appropriate had it highlighted his American Indian heritage. Oh. No, wait, Jimi Hendrix is an American Indian? Did I get that?
Are we? Yeah.
Wow. Well, I didn't. Do we know that?
Hello.
I'll be damned. Sorry. Am I dragging down here or something? Just getting wistful. Birthdays go Carol Alt, 63. How's that? Wake up, everybody. Carol Alt, 63. Happy freaking birthday. Sorry. And now, our history notes include 1976 Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols used profanity, ladies and gentlemen, live on the BBC TV. The press called the band Rotten Punks because of that, making them the founding fathers of punk rock. Because of what he said on the BBC in this day. A little historical note. Okay. Let's see. 404-741-1230 if you'd like to join us. 404-741-1230. If you watched the debate and had a comment. I didn't watch the debate at all, but I did watch a lot of stuff, replays of the sound bites and stuff this morning. In fact, we got another one in there, Flounder, I think so.
Yes, we do.
Obviously, Newsom just was totally inept. He looked like an idiot. From every possible soundbite I saw and replay of it, anytime he was presented with facts, he just kind of dodged it and said, well, you're not fighting Donald Trump enough or something. It was just ridiculous. And here's another one of the highlights from last night.
So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California.
Whoops-a-daisy. I think we might have two
things
going
running. Let me close this.
That's all right.
And here we go.
This is DeSantis talking about an interesting fellow he met who moved there.
So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California to Florida, and he was telling me that Florida is much better governed, safer, better budget, lower taxes, all this stuff. And he's really happy with the quality of life. And then he paused and he said, by the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law. So we do count Gavin's in-laws as some of the people that have fled California and come to the state of Florida.
Your father-in-law. Yeah, pretty sweet. He also showed images of the books, defended his action, showing Newsom images of the books he banned, one called Gender Queer. He said it's not consistent with it's blacked out, it's pornography. Shows sex acts with children. I mean, it's just like what? Anyway, it was and again the poop map. Just that has got to be the most distinct. That's more than where's the beef. I'm trying to think of other famous quotes from debates in history. You're no Jack Kennedy. I mean, the one with the poop map has got to be right up there with one of the most fantastic debate things of all time. Anyway, just a thought. Marsha Blackburn, senator, is after Dick Durbin. Dick Durbin's a complete fop. He's a Democrat from Illinois, complete partisan. as far as I'm concerned, and now he's blocking Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee. She's trying to get a hold of all the logs from Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita airline flights. And apparently Dick Durbin from Illinois is blocking her request to file for a subpoena. She says, gee, what are the Democrats trying to hide? She called his actions a sad day in the history of the prestigious Judiciary Committee. Senate Democrats have long been trying to undermine the Supreme Court and Justice Clarence Thomas, and they want to ignore Justice Sotomayor allegedly using her taxpayer-funded staff to coordinate speaking engagements in exchange for selling and promoting thousands of her books. Remember, they caught her a couple of months ago. They also don't want to have a conversation about the estate of Jeffrey Epstein to find the names of every person who participated in Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. We've got to identify everyone who could have participated in this horrific conduct on the Lolita Express. And I don't know. I don't think it'll ever come out. I don't think it'll ever come out. Right, let's see. Oh, should we do some bad stuff on Hamas? I almost don't want to mention it. And then we'll do something nice about that TV commercial Pete was mentioning a little while ago. And do we have I'll probably have a Pete's Tweets in there somewhere, too, if I'm getting floundered at some point. All right, coming up. First of all, this is a horrifying story. It's 4:40 in the afternoon on a Friday, and I hate to mention it because it's Friday and it's weekend, and it's kind of nothing you really want to be thinking about for very long. But children hostages taken by Hamas were marked by their captors. Apparently, each child was, this is from one of the uncles of a 12-year-old and 16-year-old boys. Each child that was taken by Hamas was taken on a motorbike, and they took every child, took his leg, and put it on the exhaust pipe of the motorbike so they would have a burn, so they would be marked. If they ran or tried to escape, we'd know who they were. And by the way, I've been burned on exhaust pipes of my Harleys, and trust me, it's not fun. It goes right through your pants and everything else. And so they would deliberately burn the legs of all the children so they could identify them later. And they also drugged them to keep them complacent. They were treated so bad, but at least they're still with us today. Their account was one of many emerging. You heard about the 10-month-old baby died in captivity along with his mother and 4-year-old brother, and now the Hamas is claiming they were killed by Israeli shelling. Yeah, that's probably true. The 12-year-old boy said he was beaten by a mob when he was first carried across the border. They forced him to watch graphic footage of their massacres. Every time a child cried, they threatened him with a weapon, told him to shut up. And once they got to Gaza, everybody was beating them, and they were giving them drugs to shut them up and make them quiet. Their kids were afraid to talk when they were released. Even they wouldn't speak above a whisper. And now in Brooklyn, maybe somebody's starting to fight back and then paying for it. Robert Rosani, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, Rosaconi, I think it might be. Robert Rosaconi was reassigned from the Fort Hamilton High School, PS 104 in Brooklyn, after numerous complaints about his complaints on activists and lawmakers complained about it. 200 students from a nearby school staged a walkout. He had said the following on social media: look at these animals and the people who support this, or he was talking about Hamas Palestinians. Look at these animals and the people who support this or call for a ceasefire. They're dogs as well. It was in response to a Hamas video the Israeli Defense Force provided showing the attack on the Jewish state. He said, let Gaza burn. There are no innocents if this is what is allowed to continue. Never again, by any means necessary, unquote. Well, some of the Stop Arab Hate people said, gee, should Arab or Muslim kids feel safe in his classroom? Hate doesn't belong here, but Palestinians do. And so they kicked him out of class.
No, they don't.
Yeah. I mean, this is, when the river to the sea is genocide.
They don't want to be American. They shouldn't be here in the first place.
And again, just yesterday, we found out that an awful lot of people, college people, in fact, the girl from Harvard said they didn't want to kick out those or arrest or complain or publicly identify all the students who are calling for, pro-Hamas stuff because she's afraid that they'll be identified and kicked out of the country. That they're foreigners and they'll lose their deportation status and be kicked out of the country. So in order to protect them from being deported, she doesn't want to complain about them for calling for the elimination of Jews. It's just you're protecting one side against the other who does not need to, I don't know. Anyway, Pete, there's a story. The story that you mentioned this the other day, very briefly. We got a particular call bound here in a second. Of the new Chevy commercial. I have not seen it yet, but it's 5 minutes long. Where would they play this during, like football games, maybe halftime or something?
I haven't seen it that long. It was about a minute when I saw it.
Well, it's a 5 minute long ad called A Holiday to Remember. There's a family gathering, man and his daughter talking about the declining well-being of his wife, who has early-stage Alzheimer's. There are some days she doesn't even recognize me, he says, answering his daughter's question about whether her mom has some good days and bad days. A young woman, apparently the granddaughter, overhears the conversation and makes a decision. Let's make today a good day, she tells her grandmother, who sits in a vacant look on her face before carefully leading her to a 1972 Chevy Suburban in the garage. John Denver's song, Sunshine on My Shoulders, is playing. The young woman drives her grandmother through town, reminding her of pivotal places in her life, like her childhood home, her high school, and a drive-through theater that triggers a memory. It was there... It was there the now elderly woman's husband first kissed his wife-to-be, the granddaughter says. Her grandmother then corrects her, No, I kissed him. He was far too shy. She then tells her teary-eyed granddaughter, Bill, I need to see Bill. They go home. The longtime couple hold each other and kiss with tears streaming down their faces.
Louder, you know what to do.
Shut up, get out of here. You're not coming in here. You bastard.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Perfect timing to get a nice laugh in.
That's cold. Oh, my God. I read this to myself 3 or 4. I've had this for 2 days. And I've read it to myself 9 times saying, okay, I can do this, not a problem. Stupid. My God.
Like a woman.
Thank God we're not on video anywhere or anything. 446 with what's his name, and Pete and Flounder. Oh, man.
This coming election stands to be one of the biggest and most contested of our lifetime. And as the rhetoric ramps up, count on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station to bring you the latest election news and opinions from the local and national voices you trust.
And this judge is now afraid that Donald Trump is, calling for violence again. That's nonsense.
I stand behind Trump and his ability to be able to speak about what he is being charged with, because they have every right to sit there and throw out these bogus accusations.
We're proud to carry the torch as Atlanta's only conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with my real estate expert, Rhonda Duffy. And Rhonda, you've been saving buyers and sellers big money for over 20 years, and that's important to you personally, isn't it?
A long time ago, I heard a cliche that really isn't a cliche anymore and has been very powerful in my own life, and that is, it's not what you make, it's what you save. And at Duffy, one of the things that I'm so proud about is that not only do we allow the sellers to list at a high price, we also allow them to keep the lowest commission possible to get the job done, which is unheard of. You can actually list and sell your home for 1% total commission. And if we work off of the old premise of it's not what you make, it's what you save, we're actually talking about money that is tax-free when you roll it into another house. These are investments. They're not something to be taken lightly. They're your opportunities in life. Thank you, Dad.
So save your money and list with Duffy, because money matters. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com.
I feel like I need a megaphone. Attention, small business owners. Hey, it's Tug. How nervous are you about the roller coaster ride that we're on? Recession, inflation, high interest rates, and the most recent of issues, the banking crisis. If it wasn't tough enough already to get a small business loan from the mega banks, now it's going to be virtually impossible. That's why you want to reach out to my friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. The Frost family, they can say yes when the big banks say no. And now they're saying yes more than ever before. And they don't just work in Georgia, they work in all 50 states. So whether you want to buy a franchise or build a new building and you need $250,000 or more in financing fast, go to FirstLibertyGA.com. Fill out the simple form and in minutes you'll know if you're a fit for their program. First Liberty Building and Loan have backed hundreds of Georgia businesses. They can be your secret weapon too. First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
The legend Neal Boortz is only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Given the fact that science has shown that your brain does not fully develop the powers of reason and logical thought until you are 25, could you please explain why anybody should pay any attention to a damn thing you say in your stupid little protest marches? And yes, I'm referring to all these young, useful idiots campaigning against Israel and for the so-called Palestinians.
Boortz weighs in with commentary every day and is live with the Morning Extra on Tuesdays. Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Extra 106.3. The biggest election coverage in the South from Atlanta's only true conservative voice. As the election draws closer and things get heated, Extra 106.3 will bring you the voices you know and trust to sort through the muck.
Where was the free speech rights when the conservatives were trying to talk?
Where's the free speech when somebody put the word Trump on the sidewalk?
Right. And stream our coverage all day from anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Now, kind of a lady's choice here as we slow it down to bring you in the arms of your lover. Tom Jones, right here.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train.
This is a very sad song.
It is. Shoot me now.
Yeah.
Here's my mama.
Tom Jones, 1966, number one in the British singles charts with Green Green Grass of Home. Stayed there for 7 weeks, giving Decca Records its first million-selling single by a British artist, also number 11 here in America. Really? I'm surprised it wasn't number one in America. I thought it was enormous.
You know, they would have had one a lot sooner than that if they'd signed the Beatles.
Well, really? What do you mean?
They had a chance to sign the Beatles and
Decca Records?
So they signed somebody else instead.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, they would have had a million long before Tom Jones. I'll be damned. That's cool. Let's see. Birthday include, we'll do a little musical birthday here. John Densmore, 79, the drummer for The Doors. Break on through the other side, my fire, Peter was saying, my fire, let my fire, let my fire, riders in the storm. Oh, sorry. Anyway, happy birthday. John is 79 here today. And now I got to go to Mr. Phone. Oh, sorry, Mr. Phone here because I didn't type in my typewriter's got the paper in it, but I forgot to do it because I was watching a stupid show. I mean, how could he pick Teresa? I just unbelievable. How can you not go with Leslie? It's just, all right, hold on. Let's see. On this day in history, today I'm coming in, and one of the sales guys, Danny, is over here in the little bullpen area, and he says, hey, Kimmer, what's your nickname for Hillary Clinton? I said, Hillary Rodham Pea Stinky Fart Cabbage. And the whole staff starts laughing because he was telling about my nicknames. And then he said, what's your nickname for Biden? As the president showers my daughter. Anyway, I'm giving the sales staff my nicknames for my people. And the reason I thought it was because they started busting up.
They were asking me that the other day, actually.
Is that right? Well, the reason it's apropos today is because on this day in 2008, Hillary Rodham Pea Stinky Fart Cabbage was nominated by the worst divisive, hateful president we've ever had, Barack Hussein Putty-Tat, nominated her to be Secretary of State. The former First Lady and opponent for the nomination as a woman of tremendous stature. Anyway, he also picked a bunch of others at this time, but still. And by the way, I mentioned the guys when I was kind of joking around with it. The fact of the matter is, remember, it was John Podesta, her own chief of staff, whose password was password, as we found out. Her own chief of staff, who revealed in private conversations and stuff, and I guess text or tweets or something. And he said, hell, you better if you're going to talk to her, you better do it before 3 in the afternoon because she's always going to be drunk in the afternoon. And she, God, she smells like urine and cabbage and just there's something wrong with her. And that became public. And I said, oh my God, he just gave me her nickname. Anyway, so God bless America. Let's see. Oh, by the way, a couple things. Pete just forwarded a story. I saw this earlier today about Juliana Margulies, or Margolis. I'm not sure how I guess it's Margolis is how she pronounces it. Which is, whoops-a-daisy. Now I can't find it on my thing there. There we go. Is she getting criticized or something? She is getting slammed for saying that all Palestine supporters have been brainwashed to hate Jews. And then some of the black and LGBT people are lower than the Jews and need to do more to support Israel. All right, holy cow. All right, now wait a minute here. All right, now by the way, Julia, she's the played on the Lost show there, Hot Wife, or what is it? No, The Good Wife. And she also now is she's a Jewish actress, plays a gay journalist in the morning show, is married to Keith Lieberthal in real life, and she said she's offended as a lesbian over the lack of support offered by the queer community. She says Palestine supporters are black and queer people who need to stop spewing anti-Semitic hate. She said the bizarre rant saw her state that black and apparently the rant saw her state that black and LGBTQ people are lower than the Jews and suggests non-binary people would be decapitated in Muslim countries. Duh. Yeah, go there and try. Pete keeps saying, just go over there and find it for a while. She outed black people for not supporting Israel in the same way she claimed Jews did during the American Civil Rights Movement. She announced a lack of support for Israel in the wake of the Hamas attack. The Jews were the ones who walked side by side with the blacks to fight for their rights because they know. And now the black community is not embracing us and saying we stand with you the way you stood with us. Jews died for their cause, the black cause. The fact that the entire black community is not standing with us now, to me, says they don't know or they've been brainwashed to hate Jews. As someone who plays a lesbian journalist on the morning show, I'm more offended by it as a lesbian than as a Jew, to be honest. And I want to say to them, blank you idiots, you don't exist. You're even lower than the Jews. You're black, you're gay, you're turning your back on people that support you. I mean, she really ripped them a good one.
Good.
And I think she's kind of course, she's going to be outed or doxxed or whatever they call it, blackballed or whatever.
She'll apologize.
Because of it. And by the way, a kind of related story, kind of snooping through the news today and found this. The Supreme Court of Russia has now effectively outlawed LGBTQ activism. Yeah, the lawsuit filed to the court earlier this month, just admitted that I said, they identified signs and manifestations of an extremist nature by the LGBTQ plus movement operating in Russia, including incitement of social and religious discord. In its ruling, the court declared that movement is extremist and the LGBTQ activism movement in Russia is now banned and against the law. Yeah, try that crap in other countries. I mean, it's just the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Well, again, freedom of speech and the freedom of movement and stuff like that. But, to use it to the advantage for the reasons that it should be, well, try it in your own home and see how they like it. I don't know. God. 457. Oh. If you just joined us, a couple of stories, we'll do more, and they'll have more at 5 o'clock or 2. Sandra Day O'Connor passed away at the age of 93. Complications of dementia, which she had warned about in 2018. 5 years ago, she said she's starting to lose her mental capabilities, early stage Alzheimer's dementia. By the way, is it? I guess I've asked this before, and I think you tell me that what I think is right. Why do you die of Alzheimer's? Is it because your brain cells tell you to stop breathing?
Yeah, it kind of destroys the brain, and the brain shuts things down, I believe.
But again, I've actually never read what the cause is, but so I'm assuming that it's that your brain doesn't know how the firing of the wires and stuff just says, okay, we'll stop kidneys, forget it, you don't need to work anymore or something. I don't understand why if you're losing if you're kind of wandering in a dreamland or something, what's that got to do with your body stopping? So
you know what you've just done?
What did I do?
You've set it up where people are going to call in, and for the last hour of a Friday show, they're going to talk about ways Alzheimer kills old people.
No, they're going to say, Kimmer, you're showing an example of it right now.
Leave them laughing.
That's right, I say. well, luckily, we're going to break it all up with sports and Pete's tweets. And we probably don't have time for Pete's tweets right here.
No. I can tell you a little doggy story.
Tell us a doggy story, but we got a minute to go. We got 40 seconds.
All right. No, we ain't got time.
Okay, well, that's fine. Don't worry. Then coming up, we'll tell you the story about the
0 for 2
about the 15-year-old Swedish girl whose brothers. Well, no, that's a bad story about hanging a guy. Oh, I know. How about the woman who came back from the dead at the crematory? No, we don't want to do that one. Well, we got it all covered coming up here with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, including Holy Crap at Sports, more Flounder's funnies, and Pete's tweets for real, and the latest on the debate, and it's Golden Bachelor. How did he pick Teresa? My God, man. Anyway, 5 o'clock.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta Extra 106.3.
Trading bombs and rockets. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Continued efforts to restart a truce between Israel and Hamas so far failing as fighting continues in Gaza. The Israeli military not commenting on a report that Israel may have known about a Hamas attack plan for more than a year.
The New York Times reports Israeli officials had somehow gotten a 40-page battle plan from Hamas that outlined a potential attack plan on communities in southern Israel. The document was codenamed Jericho Wall and detailed how Hamas could bombard Israel with rocket fire and disable Israeli security systems at the border wall by using drones.
Fox's Jill Nato. Israeli leadership reportedly considered that plan aspirational. It's not clear whether Prime Minister Netanyahu ever saw it. The Israeli military says the current focus is on eliminating the threat from Hamas and that these kinds of questions will be looked into later. A protester outside the Israeli consulate in Atlanta apparently set themselves on fire. The fire chief says a security guard saw what was happening and tried to stop it, suffering burns to a wrist and leg. The protester is in critical condition. Atlanta's police chief says it was likely an extreme act of political protest and that there's no suspected link to terrorism. A Palestinian flag found at the scene. He's now former Congressman George Santos, the indicted New York Republican, expelled in a House vote, though some Republicans argued against it because he hasn't been convicted.
My angst is not about what George was accused of. It's not, because I'm not defending it. It is about the process upon which he was expelled today.
Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds. A special election will be needed to fill the seat. Santos faces a federal fraud trial next year. A fellow inmate is charged with attempted murder in last month's prison attack on Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of killing George Floyd. Chauvin was stabbed 22 times at a prison in Arizona. America is listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And feel the difference of Relief Factor.
Look out. It's 5:03 and it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on your Friday afternoon. Let it rip, anything goes. 404-741-1230 is our number. 741-1230 if you'd like to join us. A lot of things going on in the news. If you watched the Golden Bachelor last night, if you want to react about Sandra Day O'Connor passing, or the debate, did you see any of the debate? I did not watch the debate last night. I watched a lot of it this morning of highlights because I just didn't feel like I didn't want to watch it, frankly. And I was doing other stuff, and so anyway, and some reaction to that and some sound bites. We'll have one of the greatest debate moments of all time. We'll play for you here in a moment. And Pete Davis with Holy Crap at Sports. Did I hear that Atlanta, somebody's a Palestinian, pro-Palestinian, anti-Jewish protester set himself on fire at the Jewish consulate in Atlanta? And I'm looking in my trying to find. I don't see it here.
It's called a good start.
Wow. I mean, it's I don't see it on the news anywhere. It hasn't made a headline that I see, but it must have just happened, and I don't know why they haven't. It's not on my phone for some reason. Also, just popping up. This is amazing. I don't really get this at all. John Fetterman, Senator Thing from Pennsylvania, demands that Senator Menendez should also be expelled from the Senate. This is the same guy who also, he's almost sounding like a moderate, which is freaking scary because I don't want to start not hating his guts for everything he stands for.
Doesn't he call Menendez the senator from Egypt?
Yeah, he does. He said, this is what he said. Now, again, of course, the theory is because they ousted Santos, George Santos, kicked him out of the Congress, which is very, very rare. It's happened 5 times before. And it hasn't happened in decades. Anyway, they kicked him out today. And so Menendez this morning said, Senator The Thing said this morning that Senator Menendez needs to be expelled from the Senate, quipping that he's more of a senator from Egypt than New Jersey. He made the claim in the expulsion of George Santos, saying if Santos has to be kicked out, God, but after being federally charged for participating in a bribery scheme, then Menendez should go too. This is really, they said, well, gee, you might have just heard the Congress just expelled Santos. He says, yeah, you've been calling for to get rid of Menendez, I know, but this is unbelievable. And again, if they're going to start kicking members out of Congress, I don't know why they got to kick out Menendez. He's accused of doing worse things than Santos is accused of, and Santos has never been convicted. The last guy they kicked out was convicted of extortion and racketeering and bribery and all kinds of stuff, and he'd been convicted. Well, slam dunk. But if you're just charged with stuff and you haven't even gone to trial yet, it's kind of. On the other hand, he sounds like a sleazebag. Santos sounds like he just corrupt. He got carried away and started using the money for his personal thing. And I heard one story, I think it was on the guys coming in here. I did hear one complaint from somebody who said that they gave him his credit card number to charge $50 or whatever, and that they realized later that the Santos campaign was charging him all the time and for a lot more than the minimum or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know about that, but clearly he's been charged with all kinds of weird stuff. 404-741-1230 with a Pete and Flounder. And again, Sandra Day O'Connor passed away at the age of 93. She left the bench in 2006. I mentioned then in 2018 she had early-stage Alzheimer's, was nominated by Ronald Reagan in 1981. She grew up on a 200,000-acre ranch in rural Arizona, 25 miles from the nearest town. Her family did not have running water or electricity until she was 7. By then, it says she was roping and riding and repairing fences with the cowboys, knew how to shoot a gun and steer a pickup. She enrolled at Stanford University when she was 16, graduated magna cum laude in economics, went on to receive her law degree from Stanford in 1952. And again, this was just really amusing and amazing to me. She and future Supreme Court Chief Justice William Rehnquist were in the same law school class. It was a class of 102 people. He was the editor-in-chief of the Stanford Law Review, and she served on that with him, and they started dating. He finished first in her class of 102, and she finished third. And Rehnquist, they were dating in 1950. Rehnquist proposed marriage in 1951. She ultimately turned him down, broke it off when she moved to Washington. She said it was one of 4 marriage proposals she received while she was at Stanford. And she did finally marry a guy named John J. O'Connor and took his last name in 1952. When she got her law degree, nobody would hire her. One firm said, well, we'll try you out as a legal secretary. She became a deputy county attorney in California, which basically demonstrated how much I enjoyed public service, and went on from there and was nominated to the Supreme Court, and quite a gal. Anyway, I passed away at the age of 93. And George Santos has not been convicted of anything, but he used a bunch of money for luxury goods and treatments such as Botox. The vote was this morning 311 to 114 to get rid of him. More Republicans voted to keep him than oust him, but a lot of Republicans said he's got to go. Daryl Issa, California, says, then if it's presumption of innocence you're taken away from him, then we got to get rid of Menendez. Again, how could they not? Even Senator The Thing is saying get rid of his own Democrat senator colleague. Clearly. But again, innocent until proven a MAGA Republican, apparently. So anyway, this is on board with those who are saying this is a really bad mistake. And again, for the record, Jussie Smollett has now been found that he did, in fact, break the law. It was a freaking misdemeanor, unfortunately. He caused more damage with that phony story of being roughed up by MAGA guys at 3 o'clock in the morning at 20 below zero in Chicago. And Vice President's side piece, shiftless and lazy Carmela, even said it's a modern-day lynching. Remember that? It caused more hatred and crime and problems, protests, probably had a lot to do with people voting the way they did for what he claimed was a hate crime and a horrible thing, even though we all know we've seen the video. We saw the video of the 2 guys he hired buying the freaking rope at the what do you call the store where you buy your tools and stuff? What the hell do you call it? Not a pharmacy, not a king, not a prime minister.
The hardware store.
The hardware store, exactly. Well, names aren't coming out, all of it. It's just a thing. If it's a name or a label or a title, it's just stick it in there. It goes right to the front of the rah. Anyway, by the way, and he's a scum, and he still says he's innocent. And what a pile of puke. He's just a scummy little punk, just slimy little smear on life. God. Oh, by the way, this was hysterical. This morning in my driveway, I had to go out because I had to get some stuff for the house, stuff like that. And so I come back and there's a little bundle in my driveway, like a little plastic bag. And in the bag was this I'm holding in my hand. And I opened it up and there was a rock in it. And there was a rock. It's right there. I'm holding it right now. There's a rock in it, and it was a folded up flyer, so the rock would have it land in your drive. They're throwing it out their window as they pass through your neighborhood. And I live in a townhouse cul-de-sac, so I guess all the neighbors got one. And it's for Sushi Sumo. We cater party celebrations, business meetings, and it's a sushi place on Old Alabama in Alpharetta. And they have hot appetizers, sushi on a roll, night sushi. I mean, all sushi. They have fried rice, but again, it's a sushi place, not a Chinese restaurant place. And then what's this? There's another, is this like a free, it's tickets, I guess. Oh, is this a free? I get a free. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. I got to look at this now. I'm never going there. But maybe I'll give it to somebody. Free crab rangoon or California roll with a purchase of $50 or $59 or more, only for dinner, takeout only, not valid with any other offers. Or free egg roll or spring roll with a purchase of $39 or more. And the other one is...
Crab rangoon's good stuff.
Sushi. I like crab rangoon. Yeah, I do. There's a lot. I miss my place, man. Down in Florida, right near where I lived, half mile from where I lived. I would get it going on the way home every day. They had the greatest combination fried rice and egg rolls, not the vegetable ones, but the ones that had kind of meat in them and stuff. Oh, man.
Pork rolls.
Yeah, pork rolls. And Captain Shaw's chicken that wasn't too spicy and was all fresh. And, man, I miss
suddenly
it.
that heart attack seems like such a mystery.
5:13. We have Big Time Charlie coming up next with the Kimmer Payton Flounder. Look out. Here we go.
Neal Boortz is live every day on Extra 106.3. And if you missed the legend, you missed this.
Virtually every government spending program out there is on an automatic spending increase every single budget. When you talk about cutting spending, these politicians in Washington, both sides of the aisles, they will say, well, the Department of Snord has a 5% spending increase built in for next year. We're going to cut that back to a 4% spending increase, and then we're going to tell the people that we're cutting spending. And this goes on all the time.
Catch Neal's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From an assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree. Family, friends, and the outdoors.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love, but here in Atlanta, we don't expect the ways water breaks down our basements and damages our homes. Mold, cracks, of course, visible water. Just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. Free home inspection from AquaGuard. They put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at aquaguard.net.
No best for being better, AquaGuard.
Surely you've heard of it, but have you tried playing pickleball yet? At Ace Pickleball Club, headquartered in Roswell, they deliver the optimal playing experience for pickleball players of all ages and skill levels. From beginners to pros, Ace Pickleball Club serves up premium indoor courts with the latest on-court technology, and they're growing rapidly with nearly 100 more franchise locations in development. Ace Pickleball Club is offering new franchise locations in all 50 states. To learn more about opening your own pickleball franchise, please visit acepickleballclubfranchise.com.
I got a question. Is your dog a picky eater? Or maybe has bad breath, dull coat, low energy, or even some digestive issues? Greetings. I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, founder of Rough Greens, and for decades, I've taught humans how nutrition is critical for our optimal health. Well, the same is true for our furry family members, which is why I created Rough Greens, because unfortunately, dog food is dead food. But Rough Greens is packed with live omega oils, essential vitamins and minerals, powerful probiotics, digestive enzymes, and tons of other things. And your dog will love it. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve their health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens, the easy and smart way to improve your dog's health and longevity. My dogs and I are so confident your dog's going to love it, we're going to give you a free Jumpstart trial bag. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Get your dog a free Jumpstart trial bag today by going to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com.
for the latest coverage of Israel at war. Keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust bringing you the latest.
Immediately, the Hamas goons took advantage of the situation and blamed it on Israel, and a good rancid hunk of the American media was eager to accept that explanation.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, look out. 5:19. Ed's coming up in a second. Join us here on Neal Kimmer program with Pete Flounder. Also, I have 2 sports birthdays, and one of them means I get to tell one of my famous every year on this date sports story about them. But first, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Jim Callis of MLB.com had breaking news earlier today about a former Brave scout and executive tweeting, "Very sad to learn that legendary scout Paul Snyder died last night. One of the very best scouts, one of the architects of the Braves' sustained success. Learned a lot from talking to him as I was starting this business. Rest in peace, Paul." Paul Snyder was 88 years old, spent his entire 50-year pro baseball career in the Braves organization. Wow. He was the team's scouting director. He helped bring stars like Tom Glavine, Steve Avery, David Justice, and Chipper Jones. He also assisted GM John Schuerholz. He retired from the Braves back in 2007. Born in Dallastown, Pennsylvania in 1935, he signed with the Bravos as an outfielder and first baseman back in 1958. Peaked out at AAA, never made it to the majors, but then became a manager in the minor league system. He was a big part of the Braves for a long time.
That's got to be... I suppose it's very hard on family life, but that's got to be one of the most rewarding and interesting and exciting jobs to have in any kind of sports capacity. Can you imagine, going to high school? It's got to be a very hard life, always on the road. It's got to be brutal. But think about, I think about, you with your stopwatch and all your other buddies in the stands getting times and running to first base. And
that Clint Eastwood movie summed up a lot of it.
Yeah. Trouble with a Curve.
Yeah.
That must have been really for those guys, and they were baseball guys. They were dedicated. You have to really love it to do that, and they made all the difference. Like you guys like Glavine and Smoltz and those guys. They were high school kids somewhere, sometime. And
ESPN's Jeff Passan is reporting the Red Sox, Mets, and Rangers are no longer going after Shohei Ohtani, saying that the Angels, Dodgers, Cubs, and Blue Jays are still after him. Did not mention the Braves. Meanwhile, a San Francisco sandwich shop is offering Shohei a lifetime supply of sandwiches. Ike's Love and Sandwiches says they'll even give him his own signature sandwich.
Well, that should make the difference.
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up, Giants fans. He made the same offer to Aaron Judge.
Oh, well, there you are.
The Falcons face the Jets at the Meadowlands this Sunday. Tim Boyle, whoever that is, will be New York's quarterback. Aaron Rodgers continues to rehab that rubber band in his leg.
Yeah.
The Jets haven't won since late October, and most so-called experts are picking Atlanta to win, including ESPN, NFL.com, CBS Sports, and Sporting News. But once again, Sports Illustrated not having a good week, fresh off the artificial intelligence scandal, then choosing Deion Sanders as their sports person of the year.
Yeah.
Now, 2 of their 3 supposed NFL experts have chosen the Jets to beat the Falcons.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait. And it gets worse.
Yeah.
Remember a couple weeks ago when sports anchor Charissa Thompson admitted to making stuff up when she was a sideline reporter, then backtracked and said, I was only joking?
Yeah, right.
Well, here comes the fluff pieces put out by the PR people to rehabilitate poor Charissa.
Oh, mercy.
And the Spun.com, which is an offshoot of SI, has a wet kiss story, got down on their knees about how Charissa once left her boy. It's under their top stories. I'm not kidding. It's their 5th biggest story. Charissa Thompson once left her boyfriend in a crowded Times Square because he walked too slow to keep up with her.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
There's even video of her bragging to her family about leaving him behind. Who gives a crap?
Well, not only that, were you supposed to admire that?
They're trying to make it. That makes her look. It looks. She's like a ball buster. Who wants to see that? You got to wonder how much these hacks are getting paid to write the fluff pieces about these minor celebrities. It's beneath Sports Illustrated, but maybe not. Maybe it was an AI that wrote the story, so they didn't have to pay somebody.
Yeah, and that was again another scandal where they got caught with their company they hired to do their stuff was faking news because of an AI thing. Jeez.
It's a PR people. They plant these stories to try and rehabilitate somebody like her.
Yeah.
The Cowboys held off the Seahawks Seahawks in Dallas last night, 41-35, in what could have been a really exciting game. But the referees decided to turn it into their own private gun show.
Oh.
And have you noticed they all have the short sleeve shirts showing off their arms and everything?
Yeah.
They threw 22 flags last night, but it was so annoying. Even Al Michaels joked about handing them the mic and letting them call the rest of the game. At one point, Seattle had to score 3 touchdowns in a row before the officials would allow one of them to count. And if I was a Seahawks fan, I'd be thinking the NFL was rigging it so the Cowboys would get to the Super Bowl. League is going to...
I'm sorry, was it pass interference type stuff? Or was
it was everything. Every other play.
False starts?
Not kidding. Everything.
Really?
Everything. They even overturned a touchdown in the end zone that everybody said was a catch. The league is going to have a hard time selling the game overseas, especially the soccer fans, if they continue to stop the action so we can look at a bunch of 50-year-old guys in striped shirts stand around and look into a TV replay screen. Yeah. It is not good for anybody.
And this business of a catch is a catch, my God. If you catch a ball and you land on the ground and you're down and then the ball pops out, it's a catch. Yeah, you know what? So you have to make one official athletic move after. What are they talking about? I thought the ground couldn't cause a fumble.
Then they brought in the NFL lawyers on the field is what they're doing. And the players are just as bad. Every time they look around, when they screw up, they do the flag, throw the flag thing like, someone bail me out here. You let the refs do their job and you do yours. I'm just tired of the flags. It's killing the sport, in my opinion. I turned it off. I couldn't take it anymore.
Wow.
Buffalo player Von Miller. I think Flounder knows what to do here. That's right. Vaughn has turned himself into the Dallas police after his girlfriend called 911 Wednesday, said he had assaulted her. But once realizing the gravy train was leaving the station, she has since recanted, saying no one was assaulted and this has been overblown and frankly, it's outrageous.
I do have an issue with this, whether, who to believe and whether she, I don't know. If he roughed her up, he's a wife beater. On the other hand, if she was slapping him and he pushed her away to get rid of her, then, she got what she deserved. It's so these. And by the way, ask a cop, a little thing like a domestic dispute where the husband and wife are fighting is one of the most dangerous things they'll ever do. Because someone's going to go psycho on them. It happens all the time. Domestic disputes are very, very dangerous to police officers. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what to think about.
Who cares? Yeah. Rumors that the Bears want to hire Jim Harbaugh away from Michigan have been around for a while, but now you can add the Panthers to the mix. Oh, God. I just cannot see Harbaugh in Carolina. But then again, who could have seen Travis Kelce in a State Farm commercial?
Good point.
Save that one. Nihon University in Tokyo is a football powerhouse. And you heard me right. They play American football in Japan.
Really?
Who knew?
I didn't know.
But Nihon has 70,000 students, is discontinuing its entire football program, a program that has won 21 titles between 1955 and 2017. Wow. Why? Because the players will not stop smoking the marijuana.
Oh, my God.
Which begs the question, how do you get weed in Japan? Is Paul McCartney touring there again?
I didn't know weed. Do they have... I haven't thought about this.
I didn't think they allowed that in there. I'm sorry. But anyway, can I interest you in the Conference USA Championship tonight, New Mexico State against Liberty?
Probably. Friday night? No, I'm probably not footballing it.
Well, then how about the last Pac-12 title game ever? 116 years of college down the drain.
There you go.
Oregon against Washington. This one is college football playoff implications, so that might be one worth watching.
All right.
And tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the Benz, the SEC title game, UGA against Bama. Georgia should win. But here's some ammo for Crimson Tide fans from Peter Burns of ESPN. Nick Saban is 10-1 in SEC championship games. Mm-hmm. He's won 15 consecutive games in Atlanta. Saban is also undefeated in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He's 7-0. Just saying.
Well, I mean, what would they have to do? They'd have to shut down our tight end and hope our quarterback doesn't hit those laser passes like he's been doing all season.
All George has to do is keep Milroe in the pocket, and they'll win it easily.
Yeah.
Here's what it'll cost you to get into a ticket for the title games. $42 gets you into the Pac-12 championship tonight. $58 for the Big Ten game. 71 simoleons to see the Big 12 matchup. $88 shekels to watch the ACC title game in person. But if you want to get into the SEC championship game, how much do you think it's going to cost you?
Well, it sounds like it's more than $100.
Higher.
112.
Higher.
117.
Higher.
184.
Higher.
$300.
Higher.
Well, my God, man.
$544.
Now that can't be right.
Are those for bleeds or those for actually good tickets?
It's to get in, so I don't know. It's probably bleeds.
How can you charge $500 to go watch the SEC football game?
It's the South.
I don't know.
Oh, my golly.
Yeah, baby. The Hawks won last night, which is good. It was a defensive standoff, 137 to 135.
Oh, my God. Don't they even try? Is it just launching three-pointer? They get the ball, go to half court and launch it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
No. It's a
don't
new
try
rule.
to block a shot anymore?
It's a new rule. The defense cannot pass half court when the other team gets the ball.
I guess. Jeez.
So that's what they have to stop before they get to half court, or it's over. And in 1971, on this date, the Cubs announced Ernie Banks ends his 19-year career as a player. He'll become a coach. The Hall of Famer known as Mr. Cub, the team's first black player. He won back-to-back NL MVP awards in 58 and 59. In 1999, Banks was named to the All-Century team. And you, sir, put him up to a practical joke, which I had to hear about for months.
Well, what do you mean by that?
He was on your show. And during the break, you go, come in here and meet Ernie Banks. So I walked in there, and Mr. Banks turned around and looked at me, son? Yes, sir, Mr. Banks. I understand you're living with a woman. And I said, yes, sir. And you're over there snorkeling like you are now. And I looked at you, and I looked back at him. He goes, why haven't you made an honest woman out of that young lady? You son of a... You set me up. And I'm like, So I go home, and I hear about it for months.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, let's play two.
Yeah, Ernie.
Oh, mercy. Now, a couple of sports birthdays, Pete Davis, if you don't mind. Deshaun Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, wide receiver, 37. And I get to tell my story every year on this day because Lee Trevino is 84 years old. He has a birthday. Lee Trevino played himself in the movie Happy Gilmore. He kept popping up to shake his head disapprovingly at Adam Sandler. Lee Trevino, 84 years old, and he tells a famous story of how he used to mow his lawn in San Antonio or whatever when he was a pro golfer, and he had his shirt off and wear a pair of gym shorts. He's mowing his lawn. It is a state in this gated community in San Antonio, wherever it was. And one day he was out mowing the lawn. The lady pulls up in a limousine and rolls down the back window and says, "Oh boy, sir," and he goes over the window and says, how much does the lady of the house charge to mow the lawn? And he says, well, if I do a really good job, she lets me sleep with her. And the lady zoomp up and zoink off she goes. Anyway, Lee Trevino, and I followed him around at the New Orleans Country Club golf course one time for a tournament, and he had the most wonderful power fade swing when he changed his stance at the last second, taking it back. He'd whip that left foot back even farther, and he had that high, beautiful fade. That was so impressive, and that was my golf stroke after that for the last probably 50 years, since the early 70s.
Why didn't I see that the last month?
Well, I guess you weren't looking. 5:32, very funny with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
There are tens of thousands of protesters in France. There are tens of thousands in other countries. Why don't you get on a plane and go right to Gaza and sit, and why don't you give them help? Why don't you go tell Hamas enough's enough? Exactly, because they're safe. They're in their little, I'm in my safe space.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Extra 106.3.
The 15th annual Polar Plunge is coming, and we need your help right now. You can help raise money for Special Olympics Georgia athletes to provide year-round sports training and athletic competitions in a variety of different sports. If your company would like to get involved, log on today and learn more about our sponsorship opportunities at SpecialOlympicsGA.org. All proceeds raised will benefit the 17,731 athletes of Special Olympics Georgia. Get more info at SpecialOlympicsGA.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-350-6946 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-350-6946. That's 800-350-6946. What do you have to lose? Call 800-350-6946. Again, 800-350-6946.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Love having a true conservative news and talk station in Atlanta? Then spread the word. Tell your family and friends to download the Extra 106.3 app and stream The Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Atlanta's biggest lineup of conservative voices.
Who's there? Well, it's The Who on this day, 1964. The Who played the first of 22 consecutive Tuesday night gigs at the Marquee Club in London. The band was paid £50, what's that, 60 or 70 bucks for each gig. The Marquee Club saw the rise of some of the most important British artists in the 60s. Jimi Hendrix, David Bowie, Cream, Manfred Mann, Yes, Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, King Crimson, many others appeared at the club. And The Who played there for 22 consecutive Tuesdays in 1964 for £50. Well, they've got to do something. Let's see. Birthdays include Eric Bloom is 79. He's Blue Oyster Cult's lead singer. Their big hit was Don't Fear the Reaper. I got to have more cowbell. Does that make any sense? It's supposed to hear, and I don't know what that means. And also, I got to get Mr. Phone here. Hold on a second, because I had the typewriter, because I was a stupid golden bachelor, and I didn't type what I had to do last night. Sorry. On this day in 2006, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Los Angeles agrees to pay $60 million to settle lawsuits against claims of sexual abuse by priests. L.A. in 2006. The settlement is for 45 cases, $60 million for 45 cases. Although there are still 500 more cases outstanding as of 2006. Holy smokeroonies. Anyway, it's only me and the Kimmer. It's only the Kimmer and Pete and Davis and Holy and Flounder. Oh, my God. Here, we got it all together here today. 5:37. My computer screen just went black and came back again. I don't know why. I didn't touch it. I swear to God, there's a gremlin in here. Anyway, 404-741-1230, 741-1230 if you'd like to join us. Let's see. We've got Pete's Tweets coming up. We got a little Flounders Funny coming up. We'll do a quick reminder on the debate. I don't know whether you saw the debate. I did not watch it, but I made a point of watching. Well, I'm up at 5 in the morning, so I was watching as much of the replay of it, of sound bites and so forth as I could. Clearly, Gavin Newsom is a complete loser. He thought, I guarantee you, people were telling him since he was a teenager, boy, you've got the look. He looks like he thinks he should be president. He's that John Kerry and Gary. What's his name? Gary. What's his name? Got caught with Gary Hart. Gary Hart. They all have that same kind of that smarmy, that hair look with you roll up your sleeves, kind of thing. I mean, they're all alike, and he's so stupid. He knew he was setting himself up to be ridiculed, and he couldn't get out of it. And he never answered a question when DeSantis showed him facts, whether it was a COVID virus stuff and the shutdown stuff or whatever it was. Newsom had no answer for it. He just kind of said, "Well, you're the one who should be fighting Donald Trump." And he said Biden's 100% there. He's a great president. He and Vice President Carmela side piece, the shiftless, lazy vice president, are a great team, and Biden's all there 100%, man, 100% all with it. Just my God, what's he trying to pull? But the biggest, obviously one of the greatest highlights of any television or any other debate for that matter of all time is what happened with DeSantis when, Flounder, if you will, when he pulled out the famous map of California.
This is a map of San Francisco. There's a lot of plots on that. You may be asking, what is that plotting? Well, this is an app where they plot the human feces that are found on the streets of San Francisco. And you see how almost the whole thing is covered, because that is what has happened in one of the previous greatest cities this country's ever had. Human feces is now a fact of life, except when a communist dictator comes to town. Then they cleaned up the streets. They lined the streets with Chinese flags. They didn't put American flags there. They cleaned everything up. So they're willing to do it for a communist dictator, but they're not willing to do it for their own people.
What are you supposed to say to that? I mean, he has no answers to anything. And by the way, I lived in San Francisco for 2 years in the 80s when I left Atlanta before I came back. And geographically, it is one. Pete will tell you this. He lived in California for a while, and I was there when I was in the Marines in Pendleton too for a while and traveled up and down. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. The geography of that state has some of the most astounding and magnificent visual effects anywhere in the world. The sequoias and the redwoods and the Mount Tamalpais and the beaches and the ocean drive. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Drive up the coastline Highway 1. It's just remarkable. I mean, the seals playing. I mean, it's got everything, and it's ruined. And again, the point is, in fact, hold on a second. I want to read you some of the reactions I got on my phone off of Twitter, and I hope I'm getting right here. Okay, for example, James Woods. It's a blessing for DeSantis that California doesn't enforce criminal laws anymore because he murdered Newsom tonight. DeSantis just ended Newsom's political ambitions with that one. Newsom bragged that California has the world's 5th largest economy. Great, Will Kane says, but that's like California has the mountains in the Pacific Ocean. That was given to Newsom. He's like a child born on third base and thinks he hit a triple. The question is, what did you do with all that inheritance? And the answer is, drive people and companies out of California. He's retreated the state to first base. And this one is very powerful. You may remember the name Andrew Pollock. He wrote this. My daughter died in the Parkland mass shooting. Ron DeSantis was not even governor when it happened, but I'm sure as hell glad he became governor shortly after. Governor DeSantis fired the incompetent people responsible. He did not demonize lawful gun owners. Newsom is trash. And Kayleigh McEnany wrote in an absolutely jaw-dropping moment, Gavin Newsom declines to say there should be any restrictions on abortion in the 7th, 8th, or 9th month of pregnancy. She said these are babies able to survive outside the womb. We're talking full-term children that can feel pain. No restrictions. Unbelievable. Dave Rubin posted, I've never seen anything like this. Newsom literally can't say one sentence that's true. He's laying out facts and reality calmly, but disconnect from reality is the leftists. Exactly what they're doing is being exposed. Is there anyone who thinks he's doing a good job here? I think he just ended his POTUS ambitions. Let's see. DeSantis is kicking Newsom's butt, radio host Mark Levin posted. And our buddy Clay Travis on before us. He said, DeSantis went up against a Democrat Party star, whipped him. It's just that simple. He said, I was 100% wrong. I thought Gavin Newsom would be likable and intelligent. I was incorrect. This is a massacre. If this were a boxing match, Newsom's corner would have thrown in the towel. I mean, David Limbaugh, Rush's brother, called Newsom a shameless demagogue and said DeSantis laid out the Democrat on the topic of California freedoms. Let's remember, because he's doing commercials. Newsom of California is doing commercials on all the freedoms in California. The same state that had the guy arrested for being in the Pacific Ocean on his little ski raft there without a mask on. My God. And by the way, I can't help this. Every time I see Governor Newsom, I think about his wife who gave it up to Little Miss Sodomy to Harvey Rapestein. I mean, my God, I'd like to kiss her goodnight every night, huh? I'd like to have her for a first lady, a couch slut for Harvey Rapestein to help her acting career. Oh, sure, I'll do that, Harvey. Oh, my God. Well, it fits right in with our current vice president, America's favorite side piece. Oh, my God. I mean, this is unbelievable. Anyway, 5:43 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder here on your Let It Rip Friday. Oh, Bob, what did I do? What did I forget? Oh, there we are. I was wondering what I left out there for a second. We got tweets, and we tweets, and we got tweets, and we got Pete's, and we called it Pete's Tweets.
Billions of people around the world are about to celebrate the birthday of a Jewish man born in Bethlehem 2,000 plus years ago.
Ah, yes.
But those same people think that Jews have only lived there since 1948. Okay. Visualize this.
Oh, yes.
Mariah Carey is opening up her Christmas present.
Oh,
inside, Inside, she finds a deed to an undeveloped plot of land that is zoned residential.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointed, Mariah sets the deed down and looks up and says, I don't want a lot for Christmas.
I don't want a lot, ladies and gentlemen. A lot. By the way, that should be one word. What a bunch of crap this is. If you ever write the word a lot, A-L-O-T, on your stinking phone, it'll auto-correct it to a space, L-O-T. Well, it ought to be one word, but in fact, a lot is not one word. It's two words. And it doesn't make any sense, and I don't know why. And I don't know why they have that extra R in library either, right at the front. Just tick it. What sense does it make? It's not like a Latin thing for brer. The brer with a lie is where you put books.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You all right?
I'm good now.
The Walmart.
Sorry.
What?
I don't know what that
was. The
was.
Walmart self-checkout employee Christmas party is Saturday, December 9th. It's going to be behind every Dollar General, so just meet behind
the self-checkout, ladies and gentlemen.
Self-checkout. And guess which famous and beloved old restaurant is making a comeback?
Famous and beloved old restaurant that's no longer with us, but will be, I can't think of who we no longer have any. Like Bob's Big Boy, maybe, or something like that?
No, one of my favorites, Steak and Ale.
Oh, are they gone?
They've been gone for a while.
I used to go to the one on near the governor's mansion, or not quite near the governor's mansion, but down near East Paces Ferry or West Paces Ferry, one of those. Yeah.
We went to South DeKalb Mall in North Lake for years and years and years. And if you really wanted to impress, you went to Victoria Station. But Steak and Ale was the family place to go. And it was the first time I ever felt like an adult when I took my girlfriend there. And we acted like, oh my God, we're grown up, because it's a grown up restaurant.
Cool.
They served wine and beer and stuff like that. And now you're going and bringing girls there like you were brought as a kid by your parents. It was just
didn't they have great
right now,
fries? I remember they had good thin fries or not.
The steaks were good. I love their steaks and everything. Right now, the Steak and Ale is only in Minnesota. They're planning more from North Dakota to Oklahoma right now.
Well, I'll be down. I wonder why the comeback. More people are going out to eat steaks and stuff now, I wonder?
I don't know.
I'll be darned. Well, good.
Well,
good.
People, they have a website with 50,000 people on it, so people like it.
That's a good sign. Outstanding. Pete Davidson, Kimmer and Flounder, and the Flounder's Funnies coming up, and we'll kind of have a little fun till we say adios for the weekend. 5:47. Look out. Here we go.
With With international conflicts running hot and Israel at war, you can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves. And choosing Truest One checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truest One checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with my real estate expert, Rhonda Duffy of Duffy Realty of Atlanta. Rhonda, how has Duffy made the buying and selling process this efficient without overcharging your clients?
When you list your home with Duffy Realty, you're paying an unheard of listing commission of 0.0088 of the sales price versus the ridiculous 6% listing commission. If there's no buyer's agent, there's no buyer's agent's commission, so you keep more money in your pocket. We do the same marketing with more rights and proven results. You can sell at an even higher price. Sell, rent, or lease purchase at the same time. The option is your choice. You can have transparent communication between all parties. That equals control of your transaction. And we have skilled negotiation with over 42,000 successfully closed homes. If you want an option to make more money and ask a high price, Duffy Realty.
If you're buying or selling a home, do it on your terms and save the most money with Duffy Realty. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
Duffy Realty ATL.com.
Braves fans, have you been to Threads at the Battery Atlanta? This new Braves retail location features bold, fashion-forward Braves merchandise with bright colors and trendy styles. This is your place for a new, elevated Braves look with styles for men, women, and kids. Parking is available at the Red Deck in the Battery Atlanta with easy access to the store. Start your holiday shopping now at Threads. Follow at Braves Threads on Instagram for updates and store hours.
Between global jihad, China, Russia, and our southern border, we are in for a long and protracted battle. You need to prepare for the worst. Protect your home, protect your family, and protect your investments. It's time to reach out to the Oxford Gold Group. They make it simple for whether you are buying more gold, diversifying your 401k, or buying gold for the first time. Call 833-995-GOLD or visit JessieKellyGold.com. That's JessieKellyGold.com.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day.
There you go.
Make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
1957, Buddy Holly and the Critics. God. Oh, by the way, I wrote a note about that. I said something so stupid the other night. I wrote a note on it. Here, let me see if I can find it. Oh, here. Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, here it is. And one of our promos flounder. Let me finish this. I'm stupid. Buddy Holly this day with the Crickets on the Ed Sullivan Show performing That'll Be the Day on this day, 1957. He also sang Peggy Sue. And on the flip side of that was the song All Day. And I remember the disc jockey, first time I heard, he said, well, let's take Peggy Sue over and play All Day or something. And that was kind of silly. Anyway, on the show with Ed Sullivan with Buddy Holly also was Sam Cooke. And he sang You Send Me, which is a pretty good thing. Now, I remember to say the word here that I was going to do a second. First of all, I got to do my birthdays, so I got to do this in order. I won't get it out. Gilbert O'Sullivan sang Alone Again Naturally. Remember that song, 77, of Gilbert O'Sullivan. Janelle Monáe, the R&B girl, is 38. today. And on this day in 1989, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was released. The thing there. Now, the other day, in fact, Flounder, on one of your promos that you did for a little snippet from our program, is when I was talking about... what the hell was I was talking about somebody getting an operation, and I was saying something of getting the visual imaging of the or visual resonance. I said Renaissance. For a guy getting an operation. Anyway, so if you listen to that promo, that one particular promo, it was a virtual imaging or something, and I said, instead of resonance, I said Renaissance, like an idiot. Speaking of the worse. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't think I'm having a stroke. I mean, I think, I think it's just, it's funny. It's a word thing. It's just, I don't know. My brain's trying to keep up too fast or something, and my mouth can't keep going. I don't know. I can't understand it.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Thank you. A couple things. My phone. They want me to do another update. I got another thing to, phone update. No, I'm not going to do it every time they do it. And now I'm trying to figure out how all of a sudden my phone now, when I try to look at something, it goes black on the background instead of light in the background. It's like, at sunset or say, like at 5 o'clock, all of a sudden it goes dark on me. And I don't like reading the dark things with the white letters. I like them the regular way. So I'm now trying to go through the settings, see what the hell's going on in it.
Mine does that too and it's at random. Like I might get one or two emails that are in black versus just the red.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, what the hell? It's not what I signed up for.
Again, that might be one of the things that the update fixes.
Wow. Anyway, let's see. Also, well, I guess that's enough on that. What else was I going to talk about? I think, what the hell was I doing? Oh, yeah, anyway, that's no problem. Okay, now the Bachelor thing. We're wrapping up the Bachelor thing. Who's that host guy again? Pete, the former quarterback guy or somebody? Who's it?
Jussie Palmer.
Jussie Palmer. I don't like. I don't think he's very good at what he does. He seems like a nice man. I don't like his beard. I think he should either grow it or cut it or do something. He's got that in between thing, and it just looks stupid. Now he kept saying at the very beginning. In fact, I wrote this down at the very beginning of the show. They have the whole crowd there. They have all the other girls who did not get picked on the Golden Bachelor sitting in the audience. And in fact, through the show, they took close-ups of them. A lot of them were crying, and it's really very emotional and stuff like this.
Very entertaining.
And a couple of times, one of the little blonde girl that I liked, the one who faked her knee injury when he held her in his arms at the pickleball court or whatever, she was going, "Oh God," like that, like she, "No, please." It was pretty funny. Anyway, the announcer kept saying, "The ending." I promise you the ending will shock you. You've never seen an ending like this one, so stay tuned for the golden. And then again, at the very end of the game, he said, I wrote down the quotes if I can find it here in time because I'm running with the thing there. Once again, he said, he says, you've never seen an ending like this before. And you know what the ending was? The ending was, at the very end, they together, they bring out the Bachelor, the guy, Gary and the girl he picked, Teresa, was just, I hate her. I just freaking hate her. And they bring her out, and then she's all giggly and acting like a little schoolgirl. And I wanted to throw up. And I'm thinking, my God, do you think I could go through the motions of trying to, the little giggly thing with the little giggly thing? So it just made me sick. Made me freaking sick. What a bunch of phonies and freaking. Anyway, so this host guy with a stupid beard says, well, we know that when you went to Italy, we had your thing in Italy. We know you always wanted to, or no, I guess no, it was part of their background was that if they ever wanted to have a hobby or do something, or would they both wanted to learn the language Italian sometime. So he says, as a special treat, you wanted to learn Italian? We're going to send you to Italy. But wait, that's not all. Here's the big surprise ending. You're going to get married, and it'll be your honeymoon. Oh, and she says, we aren't getting married. Well, hell, he asked her to marry him. So what's the big freaking surprise? They're going to get married sooner than they might have planned it or something? What's the big freaking deal?
He knocked her up, so they got it.
I doubt it. Plus, the way he was doing it, apparently, she said when they asked her how come, he changed his mind. Apparently, after he spent the night with her, before he spent the night with Leslie, apparently she said, well, I knocked his boots off. Yeah, I guarantee he did things to her he's probably never even heard of. And poor Leslie, oh my God, she says, oh, Gary, you lied to me. Everything you told me the other night was a complete, utter lie. Things have changed, evolved. I had known this, how much pain. He said, I'm so sorry. I kept apologizing. They're crying, all going, he says, oh, God. And he says, you don't think that way. Don't think your life's over. He says, she said, I can think whatever the blank I want, using the F-bomb. And the audience went nuts over that one. So I'm heartbroken once again. I have to do it in front of all these people. It's mind-boggling. At least I don't have to walk down to that $60,000 dress and those diamond earrings to get on that platform and be completely embarrassed. Thank you for that. And they're all crying. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, it was unfreaking believable. And so the little giggly girl, now they're going to go get married and then go to Italy. Well, that's so wonderful. Anyway, get down on your knee. I got down on my knee. And what did she say again, Pete, when I got down on my knee at the cliffs of Acapulco and asked her to marry me? I can't remember the end of the story. What did she say again?
No, nada, never, nunca, not on your life. It will not happen. Dream on.
It's why I forced her later. Like 2 days later, seriously. I took her back to the same place.
She was like the guy from The Untouchables. Rico Petroselli.
Little John.
No, never. Nada.
Oh, my God. Anyway, I mean, it was just horrible. It's just horrible. And they were worried. He got down on one knee, and then he says, he faked her out. And if you saw the very end, he said, well, I realize that you're not the woman that I want to be with. And then she's ready to go nuts. And he says, you're the woman I can't live without. Oh, what a special, Get down on one knee. I got down on one knee. Get the final rose, all right. But, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Boys, plans for the weekend? It might be kind of rainy and cold and nasty for a little bit.
Perfect football weather. It's going to be 6 championship games tomorrow. 2 tonight and 6 tomorrow.
And Georgia, I think, 4 in the afternoon? 3 or 4 in the afternoon, something like that.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yeah. Outstanding. Flounder, hi to Miss Veronica.
Will do.
Any special plans for your family?
Probably just like Pete was saying, chilling and watching sports all weekend.
Great weekend for it. Boys, God bless America. Semper Fi. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. I gotta go. You're killing me. Have a great weekend. Be careful out there. God bless America. Red and black face paint for that little boy who actually is a Native American Indian. Whoa. God bless America. Hurt, look out. Hey, hey, got him.
Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
The ceasefire is off. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Israel and Hamas again firing bombs and rockets at each other. After a week-long pause in fighting, Israeli Defense Forces say Hamas violated the agreement.
The IDF has hit 200 terrorist targets within Gaza. Hamas terrorists have launched rockets and missiles at southern and central Israel, including missiles at Tel Aviv that were intercepted by the Iron Dome. And that's exactly what we saw here on the northern front when Hezbollah terrorists launched 2 rockets across the border.
Fox's Nate Foy in northern Israel. Israel has confirmed the deaths of 6 hostages who were kidnapped from their kibbutz near the border with Gaza October 7th. A pro-Palestinian demonstrator critically injured after setting himself on fire outside the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. Atlanta's police chief says a Palestinian flag was found at the scene, but they don't believe there is any connection to terrorism. They did not release the name, age, or gender of the protester, who is in critical condition. A federal prisoner has been charged with attempted murder in the prison stabbing of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of killing George Floyd in 2020. Authorities say John Tursak stabbed Chauvin 22 times in the law library at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson.